The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
A new report from Sports Illustrated is out there about Aaron Glenn's job status. We'll cover that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show for the final time in 2025. Let's hit it and get it started. A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now. Here we go, here on a Wednesday, New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, everybody. Final show of 2025. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. I just want to say thank you to all the Asmaniacs who tune into the show year-round. Hope everyone is safe later tonight. Hope everyone has a great New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Jet-wise, New Year's Day, there's a strong possibility the Jet QB of 2026 is in action tomorrow in one of these college football playoff games. So we'll talk more about that later in the week. But again, thank you for tuning in year round. It is not easy to do 4 hours a day on, honestly, one of the worst franchises in all of sports. But because of the support from this community, we're able to do it year round. And I really appreciate all the support. Again, you guys are the best. Thanks for making it possible to commiserate about this football team day in, day out. Before we bring on our guest, I want to let everyone know that since it's the last show of 2025, we got a sick raffle prize up for grabs. All memberships, since we're only doing one show today, are boosted double the fun. So if you get for 5, it's really 10, 10 is 20, so on and so forth. In fact, if you win the prize today, I'm going to get to the post office and make sure that you get your signed New York Sack Exchange football sent out. So that is the raffle prize. Gift a membership to the community or send in a super chat, $10 or higher to qualify. With that, let's say hello to the host of the Nick Shine Show, Nick Shine. Nick, Happy New Year, my man. Always appreciate you hopping on.
Happy New Year, buddy. Pleasure doing the shows with you this year. I know it's our final weekly segment, but hopefully we'll do more work together in the future. But thank you for having me this year, man. It was an honor.
It was a blast to have you, and a lot happened with the Jets, most of it not positive, and unfortunately, that's where we're going to start. This is a report in Sports Illustrated today from highly respected NFL reporter Albert Breer, who wrote today, quote, "Here's the reality of the Jets situation. There has been no discussion at the upper reaches of the organization about moving on from Aaron Glenn after 1 year. And while some people would warn that Woody Johnson could quickly turn with another embarrassing Sunday at the office, I'd be pretty surprised if that happens. Again, most people that have talked about this have said there's no way, no chance. I do think, though, it's not a 0% chance. Like, it went from 0 to, maybe it's 5, 10%, but it's not 0. But again, the expectation is the Jets are not going to move on from Aaron Glenn. I will go on the record again and say I believe it's a mistake. I think letting this guy oversee the quarterback selection, spend all the free agent money, I think it is a grave, grave mistake because I don't think Aaron Glenn has done anything to prove he has a clue what he's doing, and he should not get that shot. That said, if they do bring him back, you got to hope that he improves. And if Monday comes and he's not fired and he's the Jet coach, I'm going to root like hell for him to prove me wrong because I'm a Jet fan first and foremost. But what's your reaction to this report, and where are you at with Glenn going into the last game? Do you think there is a chance he's gone, or do you think he's back ultimately?
I think there's a chance. And I said on your show, I think 2 weeks ago, if you go lose these last 2 division opponent games by a score of 90-10, and we're almost halfway there, right? Like, Woody could just do what Woody does and get emotional and overreact. And and do what he did to Saleh last year. Now, I don't want Glenn to get fired, but I could see the logic in it taking place, Jake. And in a conversation I had on my show before, Black Gypsy thinks Angstran should get fired. And I said, if you're Aaron Glenn and you walk into my office and I'm Woody and you're like, hey, you hired me, but the guy I hired at defensive coordinator, I fired him. And now the guy I hired at offensive coordinator, I got to fire him too. Why am I keeping you? Now you're going to get in a situation where you're going to be labeled a lame duck coach because everyone's going to think you're going to get fired after year 2 because the conversations are already out there. Reporters are already putting stories out there to either calm down the conversation around it, like Breer just did. But now, if you're a coordinator and you're or a potential coordinator and you're getting a job opportunity, why would you go take the Jet job, knowing that it could be one and done and that could be your only opportunity? You want to get a good opportunity when you leave. You want to get in the building where you don't have to be worried about is my head coach going to get fired mid-year? Is Woody Johnson going to axe this guy? So I don't think that you can go and fire both coordinators that you hired. You put your name on this. You built it. You structured it. But everyone else is bad, but you're good. You get to stay. So I can't see firing both coordinators and retaining the head coach. Now, $10 million, $40 million left to play does speak volumes. I don't know if Woody will fire him after 1 year. But
Well,
I'm not surprised if he stays. I'm not surprised if he goes. Like, I'm gonna be like, "All right."
again, if he's fired, it's warranted. It's just a
Yeah.
matter of, is Woody Johnson going to do it? People bring up the money, and I get it, right? It's $40 million reportedly. He makes $10 million a year, signed a 5-year deal. Woody Johnson just paid $254 million to buy a soccer team, Crystal Palace, buy a part of a soccer team. I don't think people really comprehend how much money this guy has. And yes, he could be cheap. He can nickel and dime at times. That's been his history. But for the most part, like, no one's looking at Woody Johnson saying he doesn't pay his coaches or he's not willing to make a big swing and step up when he has to. If he has doubts on Glenn, he should move on. I don't think it's about money with him. I still think it's about ego, right? A guy he personally knows, he likes, he hired. Is he willing to admit the mistake that was made hiring him after just 1 year? To me, it's without a doubt justified because, like, we're already having conversations about, well, what happens if they start 1-5? Would he fire him then? Like, are the Jets going to make the same mistake the Titans just made this year with Brian Callahan after they picked Cam Ward? Like what happened in Chicago when Eberflus got to pick Caleb Williams only to get fired in season. The list is endless. Hugh Jackson with Baker Mayfield. There's so many examples. Urban Meyer with Trevor Lawrence. If you have any doubt right now, there's no purpose in moving forward. I said this on the radio this morning. A good organization like New England would move on and recognize a mistake. Because the reality is, if you're already having conversations about this guy and it's this grim, like, the numbers back it up. If you're this bad through a 16-game, soon-to-be 17-game sample size, like, the odds are it's just not going to work. And again, he's a defensive coach who doesn't call plays on defense. His defense is an abomination. If the Jets allow 30 points on Sunday, I read that the Jets would be one of the 10 worst defensive teams ever in DVOA. We're looking at historic levels of ineptitude here. What everyone needs to pay attention to in this graph I'm putting on the screen. These are all the one-and-done head coaches since 2018. And I want to explain this chart because Michael Nania of Jets X Factor put it together. This chart, SRS, that is what's called simple rating system, right? That is point differential adjusted for strength of schedule. Okay, so it factors in your point differential, right? We know the Jets just had the worst point differential ever in the month of December, broke an NFL record, but it also factors in the opponents you're playing. So look at the chart and then look where Aaron Glenn is. He's the worst of any of the one-and-done head coaches since 2018. We're talking about Kitchens, Hackett, Pierce. I covered David Culley and Lovie Smith. I was there in Houston. David Culley was the worst coach I've ever seen. Glenn is very close. I swear to you people, that's why I'm so critical, because I lived this. I lived this every day in Houston. I'm living it again with the team I actually give a crap about, the New York Jets. Urban Meyer, Steve Wilkes. And what's crazy about all this is when you look at what happened after these coaches were fired, people act like, oh, no, it will set you back if you fire a coach after 1 year. No, it won't. After all these coaches were fired, right, The next coach that came in all took their teams to the playoffs during their tenure. Think about that. So we talk so much about, oh, it's going to set you back. No, it won't. Urban Meyer got fired. Doug Peterson came in and won a playoff game the following year. Once Frank Reich got fired, Dave Canales now this year, so in year 2, is going to have the Panthers potentially in the playoffs. After Lovie Smith was one and done, guess what? DeMeco Ryans came in and got the Texans to the playoffs, where he has them again for 3 straight seasons. Steve Wilkes, he got fired. They bring in Cliff Kingsbury. By year 2, they're in the playoffs. Like, when you're on this list, when it is this bad, the odds of Aaron Glenn turning out to be a good head coach when no one could point to one damn thing he does well in year 1, what are we doing? Again, I don't believe Woody Johnson will make the right decision, but the right decision would be to recognize your mistake, recognize the game is not for Aaron Glenn in 2025, now into 2026. He doesn't fit the modern coach. Be smart and get someone that can help your young quarterback, because that's where it all starts. An offensive coach, preferably someone with experience. This would be the time to do it. I will continue to make the case until Monday, but I don't think Woody will do it, and thus I feel like it's not going to happen. But if he did it, it would show me really something from this owner. And man, God, do we need to just get something to buy into? Because I don't know how you could sell the Jet fan base on another year of this. Again, they start 1-5 next year, and he's fired like Brian Callahan was in Tennessee. What are we doing? We're just delaying what we all know is going to happen when this team is dog crap for another year, one season from now.
And I think it's going to be bad. I feel where the New York Jets are, as bad as this season has been, and some are calling it the worst Jets season ever, Jake, we're 3rd in the draft. We couldn't even get the number 1. And now I have a great fear that there's only going to be one quarterback available. It's going to be Mendoza. I think Moore and Simpson go back to school. I don't think they're ready yet for the NFL. I don't think they're going to be wanting to have any possibility of being linked to the Jets. That's just my honest opinion about it. And there was an Instagram video I saw where guys like, if you're Dante Moore and you're in his camp, you're going to tell him, go back, get seasoned. Don't risk your career on getting drafted by a team that doesn't know how to manage or develop or create a quarterback. So you're at 3. You're not even going to get the quarterback now. So, I mean, what's the point of just going through the motions in 2026 with a lame duck head coach? I would rather you go get a head coach that has the possibilities to build and create and implement an offense and be innovative and take a bridge quarterback like a Trubisky or any other name that you can think of who's available, and maybe get something out of them. And then in 27, go get the quarterback. Because I don't want to take a quarterback just to take a quarterback. And I'm not taking a guy at 3 just to say we got one and have another disaster of a draft pick. I would rather go build the best possible team, because we have a lot of holes. We have a horrible defense. We're 32 points away from giving up 500 on the season. We're 8 points away from only scoring 300. So we're probably going to be minus 200 on the season when this shit show is over on Sunday. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. Like you're saying, let Aaron Glenn build it. Let Aaron Glenn build it.
Build what?
Okay? Exactly.
He's built nothing. He took
and I
a
try to
team.
find a positive in everything, Jake. You know that. It's annoying at times how I can find a positive. I don't see many positives. Aside for the draft capital, I don't see many positives. And here's a whole thing I need to squash. He didn't bring in his guys. You know who Mike Vrabel has on the Patriots that played on the Titans? He's got Josh Dobbs and a safety named Bledsoe. That's a bullshit fertilizer that people are trying to do to just buy time because they can't think of anything relative. He didn't bring in his guys. Right, Vrabel is coaching up a shitty roster, and they're playing tremendously. Granted, their schedule is the weakest in the NFL since 1999. Granted, they only beat one winning team. Granted, they're one and done in the playoffs. But it looks like there's substance there.
He's a great
Don't
coach.
tell me that.
He's a great
Absolutely.
coach.
A great coach will walk into a room and coach the players that you give him. He's not going to turn his back and say, I got to go get guys out there to come in here. He's going to embrace that team, make it its own, create his identity, and go out there to battle and succeed and laugh at the opponent on the other side who doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And that's what Aaron Glenn is in year 1. If he gets year 2, could it change? Sure. But if you're a Jet fan and you're going to be honest with yourself, you have to say Aaron Glenn in year 1 is over his head. Aaron Glenn in year 1 is incompetent. Aaron Glenn in year 1 does not look like the guy who deserves to sit at the head of the table and make the major decisions for the New York Jets. That's the truth. Whether you can face that or not is on you. But that's the reality of where we're at after 16 games with Aaron Glenn.
Well said. Couple things to follow up on. I showed the stat when we were just discussing Glenn about the worst NFL team since 1978 in combined offensive and defensive DVOA. I want everyone to understand what DVOA is, so I pulled up the exact definition so we can go through it. DVOA stands for Defense Adjusted Value Over Average. It is an advanced football analytics metric created by Football Outsiders to measure how efficient a team or player is on a play-by-play basis. What DVOA means in plain terms is it answers the question, how well did you perform compared to an average team in the same situation, adjusted for opponent quality? All right. So basically, it is what WAR is for those who are fans of that stat, for baseball fans out there. Again, when you look at the teams that are on this list that the Jets are joining here, we're not just talking about a bad team for Jet standards. We are talking about one of the worst football teams in the NFL since 1978. The 05 San Francisco 49ers, the worst team on this list, had rookie Alex Smith, who had 1 touchdown, 11 interceptions. The 91 Indianapolis Colts, who were second on this list, they averaged 8.9 points per game. The 2008 Lions, enough said, winless, 0-16. 2009, Steve Spagnuolo, in his first year as the head coach of the Rams, outscored 436 to 175. The 2002 Texans, expansion team, debut season. This is the list Glenn has us on, folks. And again, they traded Sauce. They traded Quinnen. Bullshit. If you are not objectively analyzing this team, the fact that they've had the same 5 offensive linemen all year, the fact that they actually have some players still on this defense, even after the trades that we've seen be good football players before, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, Jamie Sherwood, Quincy Williams, Harrison Phillips, Jawan Briggs. If you're sitting here telling me that the Jets should be on this list with some of these other teams, that they're this bad despite having an elite special teams unit, right? They wasted that, wasted the health on the O-line. Again, I don't know what to tell you, all right? Because what you're watching is not reality. You're just being a fanboy and hoping that Aaron Glenn's going to turn it around because he might have been your favorite player 30 years ago, or you're too young to know any better. It's not normal what we are watching. When you're on a list with David Culley, when you're on a list with some of these teams that we've already highlighted here, it's like, what are we doing? He doesn't call plays on either side of the ball. His DC hire was an unmitigated disaster. His handpicked quarterback was a disaster. He said he signed him because he was tough to game plan against. Enough said. And as bad as Fields was with the Jets, he was never this bad in Pittsburgh, never this bad as last year in Chicago. So they said they'd coach a guy up, and he was horrific. So now let's give him another year with the 4 picks in the top 50. Let's give him $100 million in free agent signings. When Aaron Glenn was asked what his brand of football is, he referenced the Jaguars game when they were down 31-10 at halftime, and then they went out there in the third quarter in garbage time and ran the football well and scored a touchdown to take a 40-13 deficit and make it 40-20. That was his shining example of his brand. He did not know how long the game-winning field goal was in London. I suck at math, so I get it. But I can't have my NFL head coach not know how long a game-winning potential field goal is for Nick Folk in a game that you're down by 2 in London. Again, all Glenn has done is take a situation that obviously was not great, but make it far worse. And now we're just going to trust him? Based on what? He has shown nothing to allow any Jet fan to trust this guy to give him another year. I'm sorry. He's a good person. It is not personal. He's a great Jet. That will never change. But the Bills, the Pats, the Dolphins, Giants fans, they're laughing at the Jets. The idea that the Jets are keeping this guy, we're being laughed at. Enough. We don't need to pretend what we're seeing this year is normal. I keep going back to that. We've seen bad Jets teams. This is a different level of ineptitude, what we're watching. And if anyone is trying to justify it or explain it, I don't know how you're going to be able to get through another year of this, because they're going nowhere with them. And we're going to be doing the coaching search in 2027. So maybe we'd be proactive like New England was instead of being reactive for once, because they're never winning with this head coach.
And maybe the blessing in disguise is that he didn't bring in any of his guys, and it was all short 1-year deals. So if you're a new coach that has to come in, this is where you'd want to do it. Why give him the money to use this year? Why give him the draft picks if you think you're going to have to fire him after year 2? Do it now. Wipe the slate clean and give the new head coach the opportunity to bring his guys in with this money and the draft picks. Don't give Glenn half of your capital if you think you're going to fire him. If you think you're going to have to fire him, you do it now. He wasn't a defensive guru. He got brought in to be a leader. He got brought in to be at the head of the table. The table sucks. There's no legs on it. It's falling apart. It's horrible. Charles Gorman put it together. There's no reason to go forward with this when it's this bad. He's not just on the list, Jake. He's at the bottom of it. He's the worst.
He's
out
number
of
one.
all of them.
He's number one. And again, I covered David Culley. I lived that. I did 4 hours of sports talk radio on ESPN Houston every day. People need to understand. I've seen this before. Like, I'm living the 20. And again, I will factor in David Culley had Davis Mills as a rookie as his quarterback. Aaron Glenn gave $30 million to Justin Fields. $30 million to Justin Fields. And he got 9 games out of him, and he's never been worse. There's so many red flags if we're just being honest here. And again, who would take this job? BS. People would take this job. It's 1 of 32. Brian Costello on the New York Post today made a great point in his story. Robert Saleh had other options. Todd Bowles had other options. Aaron Glenn even. There was some thought the Saints wanted him. He was their number one guy. He had other options somehow. So someone will take this job. And you know what? If you could get an offensive guy that could work with the quarterback, at least you have a chance. Or if you could get a Mike McCarthy or a Cliff Kingsbury, or God willing, you make the Godfather offer to Harbaugh or Tomlin if they ever were available. Even Stefanski, at least he's an offensive guy who's been a coach of the year twice. Just, we need to stop pretending like this is going to just magically get better just because they have cap space and they have they have draft capital. That's just not reality. Like, that's not how it works. And I heard something alarming that Connor Rogers of Badlands and, of course, SNY and NBC said. He said on his podcast that he's already spoken with agents of some of the top prospects that are coming out. And the agents have expressed to him, man, we don't want our guys going to the Jets. And he said it's not like day 3 picks, 7th round guys. He said agents of prominent prospects this year already look at the Jets situation and go, man, we don't want our guy going there. That's how bad this is. That's where we're at already a year in, that you have agents of top prospects saying, we don't want to go there. Like, that's, again, it's like people need to wake up, because what is going on here is not normal. And if Woody Johnson allows it to happen, we're going to be doing this a year from now. So, again, enjoy another year of this, Jet fans, because that's where this seemingly is headed, which is mind-boggling to me that anyone could look at the product on the field, even with the tanking, and just like act like what we're seeing here is totally normal. It's not. Quentin Williams couldn't wait to get out of here because he knew what was going on. He saw it. He lived through Gase. He survived that, and then he got to Aaron Glenn. He's like, oh, my God, I'm back in this again? And he goes to the Cowboys and immediately starts playing like the first-team All-Pro we know he can be. It's just there's so many red flags, man. I could keep going, but everyone knows where I stand. I'm exhausted covering it. Again, if he's not fired Monday, I will root like hell to be wrong. But I don't see it, man. I really don't see it. His defenses in Detroit weren't any good either. We need to stop pretending like he's a defensive mastermind as well. What coaches want to come here, right? Why would a top DC candidate want to go to the Jets knowing that Glenn's on the hot seat in year 2 already? Why? Why would you want to come here?
So I'm going to do my best Boomtown impersonation. Jake, you're fire him. I'm going to make a note. You're fire Aaron Glenn.
I would move on. Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. Just to be clear.
Yep. That's where I stand.
I don't want there to be any gray area.
Like, I was just waiting for things to turn. Like, again, like when they won 3 of 5, I'm like, there's improvement. I'm like, okay. And it's just like, there's nothing we can point to that gives you any evidence. He, 1, has a plan. 2, has any idea how to be a good NFL head coach.
And now you're not going to be able to get coordinators. You're not going to be able to get players. And now you're going to get draft capital to use. And I don't want you reaching. I don't want you being desperate because you know the writing's on the wall. I want someone with all of this draft capital. And I'm completely fine with Muji staying. I am. I'm fine with that. They don't both have to go. I think Muji's done a good enough job to stay. But I am more than okay with Aaron Glenn going, because you never were the great defensive coordinator. You're a great leader. There's a difference. You're Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia left Belichick, went to get a head coaching job, right back out the door, hat in hand, back to Bill. Will you take me back? That will be Aaron Glenn with Dan Campbell, because no one else is going to hire him. He's not a great enough defensive coordinator where, like, Robert Saleh got a job right away. Robert Saleh was on the field with the Packers last year after getting fired because they brought him in as a consultant, for crying out loud, because how valuable he can be as a defensive mind. That's not Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn worked his way up. He's a grinder. He's committed.
Again, we say he's a good leader, though, right? And like that's how that was the perception. How good of a leader is he really? He's showing the team film of their performance against the Jaguars. That's what he's showing them. in a game they're losing at the time of this great touchdown drive he's showing them of what their brand of football is. They're down 40-13 in the game when Isaiah Davis scored that touchdown. That's the thing that you want to show the team. Like, they quit on the field on Sunday on him. We saw that. Like, Jermaine Johnson, who we thought was this leader and a guy who was all in on Glenn, he scoffed at the question when Glenn questioned the effort, and then he walked it back. That's like when Gerard Mayo a year ago, he called the Patriots players soft and then had to apologize and walk it back the next day. Again, I posted that clip of the Jaguars answer, and a bunch of Patriots accounts saw it and said, wow, this is a Mayo thing all over again. People were tweeting me the link to this article. Like, this is where we're at. Again, we are talking about a historically bad season. So they could bring this guy back, but we already know the leash on him is so razor thin. And at that point, what are we doing? He's not a modern coach. There's nothing modern about what he does. Robbie Sabo, all over this. There's a great article on JetX discussing this. Oh, we want our brand to be this. What's the Rams brand? What's the Chiefs brand? Like, no, you need to be able to just be a modern team. Adjust your game plans. Score points. Like, what type of identity do the Kansas City Chiefs have? Are they defense? Are they offense? Are they pass? Are they run? No one can answer that question because it doesn't exist. Like, he's right. The NFL is all about being brandless. And this guy's preaching things that I'm not saying they don't matter, but they don't matter in 2025, 2026 as much as being great X's and O's, having great schemes. He doesn't do any of that. He said the X's and O's don't matter after they got their asses destroyed by the Jaguars. There's just, again, so many red flags. I feel like I'm back in Houston covering David Culley again. That's why it's just like, it's remarkable to me that he might survive all this. It really is.
One thing that can change, Woody, is the players coming in. If Jermaine, Sherwood, I don't know if Olu Membu's a rookie, Brees Hall.
They don't have an interception yet this year.
I know. There's nothing good. And people want, and you know what would bother me? The people who want him to stay next year. Oh, week 4, we got an interception. See, we're better than last year. Like,
yeah.
No, stop. It's not a high bar to clear. The Giants and the Commanders are tied for the least amount of takeaways in NFL history on defense. Jake, they're at 7. We're at 2 with 0 interceptions. We'd have to have a 6 turnover game to not be the lowest of all time, and we're blowing away the record. It's bad. I love Aaron Glenn. I watched Aaron Glenn play. I remember him getting drafted. Okay. I could separate that from him as the coach, and I could separate that from what I wanted, and I could separate that from my desire for him to succeed and make the team great and say, he's not the guy. There's no shame in that. I'm not an asshole. I'm not flip-flopping. I'm looking at something fairly, assessing it, and saying, all right, would have been a great story. It would have been cool. But for the long-term success of the Jets, it's better to move on now. And it is.
You have agents
who don't agree with that, just want to dig themselves in the ground and wait to say, I was right. It got better. Well, it's the worst Jets season we've watched. And sadly, we're still number 3 in the draft, dude.
It's unreal.
Damn.
It's unreal. Again, when I heard Connor Rogers, who's someone I have immense respect for, I think he's excellent on SNY, excellent on draft coverage, excellent with Joe on Badlands. When I heard him say that prominent agents of some of these top prospects are texting him, man, like, what's going on with the Jets? And we don't want our guys to go there. We're a year in. Again, like, if you're a free agent now, how is Aaron Glenn selling you on coming to the Jets other than grossly overpaying? Like, we've seen this. It doesn't work. You cannot point to one thing Aaron Glenn does well as a head coach, and this is not personal. He seems like a good dude. He was a great Jet, but it's not the right fit. We need to acknowledge it's not the right fit. It was, I'm sure, a really tough decision for Robert Kraft to move on from Gerard Mayo. I know it was, but you got to do what's in the best interest of your team. There's just no way this works. There's no way this works.
The goal is to win. The goal is not to be right as a fan or be right as a content creator. The goal is for the Jets to get it right. They got it wrong with Glenn. It's okay to admit that. Again, I don't want him to get fired. I wanted him to succeed as a fan. But as a fan, I can look at this, Jake, and I can say there is so much wrong. And there's so much, not just wrong for this season, historically wrong with this franchise right now. that you have to make the move so you could get players in here. You have all of this money. You have these draft picks. You got agents saying that players won't come here. What are you going to do with the money?
Dude, they ran 2 fake punts on the same drive inside their own 50-yard line. Why are people pretending, oh, Jake, they're not trying to win? Why is he doing fake punts twice on the same drive if he's not trying to win? All right?
I've only seen that one other time. When Nicky was like 6 playing me in Madden, he thought he could get me with fake punts. He did it on like second down when he was like 6 years old.
Oh my God. And like they can't beat the Dolphins. They're not any good. They had no chance against the Bills, no chance now against the Patriots. This is the division they play in. He's 0-5 this year, will be 0-6 after Sunday, and the point differential will be well over 100 by the time this season is done. These are your opponents you play 6 times
200
every year.
It'll be 200 the point differential.
I'm talking about just against the AFC East.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right.
That's what I'm saying. It's oh man, and like people will go out of their way. I've never seen people just like bend over backwards to defend a guy who's not good. Again, we don't need to pretend this gets better. We have seen this, Jet fans.
Yeah.
We went through this with Gase. The only reason why more people are defending Glenn now than the Adam Gase team in 2019 is because Glenn played for the Jets. And by the way, Gase was better than Glenn in his first year. He won 7 games after starting 1-7. Aaron Glenn started 0-7 and then proceeded to go out there, have some Fugazi kind of wins, 3 of 5 against Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Kirk Cousins. Special teams was amazing. And then it's like, okay, cultural wins. Great. You're building on something. And then when they no-showed against Miami at home, down 21-0 in the first quarter against a team that's not any good, you knew something's up. So that can't happen. You can't tell me you're improving, progress, all this, and then no-show that game. And then the downfall started after that. And then to hear him come out and say that he showed the team film from the Jaguars game as an example of their brand, a game they lost 48-20, a game they were down 31-10 at halftime. What more do you need to hear, Jet fans? Please, I beg of someone out there to make the argument why he deserves another year other than, well, you know, you don't want to fire a coach after a year. It's such nonsense, man. I was in Houston when the Texans fired 2 coaches in 2 years back-to-back, and they eventually landed on DeMeco Ryans. The Niners had 3 coaches in 3 years as well, and then they got Kyle Shanahan. Like, the idea that, oh, no one will take the job, such nonsense. Please, for the love of God, wake up to what's happening here, Jet fans, because if you don't, and you're on board with this, don't complain when they get off to the 1-6 start and Glenn's dead coach walking all year next year, because that's where this is headed.
I keep going back to this. This is why I never wanted Don Mattingly to get the Yankees manager job.
Oh, it sucks.
I know there would come a day where you had to hate the guy, and you can separate the player and the coach, but there would be a day where, all right, it's time to move on, Don.
It's like when the Devils hired, what's his name? It was part of their dynasty, their cup teams.
You're talking hockey. You're speaking Spanish to me, bro.
Someone in the chat will know.
All right. Tom. Paging Tom Ace.
Any Devils fans out there?
Was it Brodeur? Did he coach?
No. John something. McClain?
John Madden?
No, not John Madden.
Oh, there was a Madden on
Yo Holmes got
Devils back in the day. John McClain. Right. Oh, and John McClain, it is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is, in fact.
What other Christmas movie do you get cocaine and titties within the first 7 minutes? Best Christmas movie ever, Jake.
Yep, nothing like it. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. If you tuned in late, I have in my hands a signed football by each member of the New York Sack Exchange. It comes with the certificate of authentication. That's the prize today at the end of the show. It's our final show of 2025. I know we're really negative right now, but again, like I just, this is the platform I have, the show. I have to be honest with the audience and voice my opinion. So I'm going to do that. If you want in, all memberships are double since we're doing one show and it's our only show today. Last show of 2025. The Asmaniac raffle coming up. We have a signed Joe Klecko jersey, signed Darrelle Revis jersey, and a signed Don Maynard football. We're just going to push it to Tuesday to get us back on our normal Tuesday raffle schedule. So enter to win any of those 3 items on Tuesday. But at the end of the show today, very rare do I give away a prize this good on only one show. This expensive will look good in your Jet Man cave or woman cave, if you will. Got it right here for you. Signed Sack Exchange football. Let me get to the super
Gary
chat
just
from the
texted
memberships.
me. A woman cave is a kitchen. Gary just texted me.
Gary. Joe the Jet with our first super chat. You two have different thoughts about Dante Moore coming out. Can you both make your case for both possible outcomes with Moore declaring I just think since he's a projected top 5 pick, he will come out. And that's just kind of where I'm at. Like, again, I think there's a big risk going back to school. Everyone says, oh, it's a loaded quarterback class next year. Okay, well, if he gets hurt, things happen. Look at Drew Allard. Like, he could have came out and been a first-round pick. Well, now he's probably going in the 3rd round. I just think Moore has a chance to be a top 5 guy. I think he's going to be advised to come out. So that's where I've been the whole time, and I'm excited to see how he looks against the Texas Tech defense in the playoff tomorrow because they are really good, and that's a great litmus test for Moore.
I believe Moore has to show a lot in order to declare. And I think that his camp, looking at the teams that are at the top of the draft, the Raiders and the Jets, I wouldn't be surprised. And now that you can make money in college, Jake, there's there's not that rush anymore. We've heard people throughout the years say, I want to retire my mom. I want to buy her a house. I want to take care of my family. We haven't had the best situation. You're doing that in college now. You don't even have to rush to get to the NFL to get the payday anymore. So I think Moore and Simpson both need more experience, and you don't get that by coming to the Jets and sitting. And I think for their best interest, not the Jets, for their best interest, they deserve to play more and get that experience. Simpson's young; he's 20. Moore doesn't have a lot of starting experience. They run a good pro style offense out there. With
$60 million guaranteed. It's tough to walk away from.
I know. So
that's what he'd get if he signed his rookie contract.
I think that you're looking at it, and there's a lot to factor in. So I don't think it's an absolute given.
So your gun to your head, you actually think he stays? You're in the camp he stays?
Who's holding the gun? That's a factor.
John McClain.
Oh man, he doesn't know me. I'm really 50-50. Can I get back to you after tomorrow's game?
Sure.
I think tomorrow's a big thing. If he shits the bed tomorrow, he goes back. If he lights out, making good throws, there's somebody on Twitter, and Twitter refreshed after I watched it, showed him throwing his passes downfield, and they float. And I just think that playing in the Northeast would be a really, really bad match for that. So I'm not sold on Moore. I think he can do more to improve that, but
pun intended.
Yes, I'm not there. I'm not a Moore guy. I'm Mendoza. I'm all in on Mendoza. My dream, Jake, is that the Raiders do the Allen plan. We're going to sell the top pick. We don't believe in this guy. We'll sell it to the Jets. We're going to build our roster because our roster is really bad, and then we'll have extra assets to go in 2027 and get a better quarterback in a better class. That's the Jet fan pipe dream right now, that the Raiders don't want the number 1 pick.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. T-Town Jet, first to enter the raffle with a gifted membership. It is double, so he's in for 2. Curly Norman, who hates to love the Jets, but we love him anyway. He is in the raffle for 2. Shout out to you, Curly. M123 in the raffle for 2. He gifted a membership. Black Gypsy checking in. He gifted a membership. He is also in the raffle for 2. And in the house, a 10 spot from Rick Kent. Give him a hug.
I hug him every day.
Rick, the leader in the clubhouse with 20 entries for the Sack Exchange football. More super chats here. This one is from Welcome to Something. If we're tired of being fans of the laughing stock of the league and feel this way, how can Woody look himself in the mirror every morning? I'd love to know, man, because again, Aaron Glenn sold him on a bill of goods. He's delivered nothing of what he promised. Anyone saying the idea was for the Jets to tank has no clue what they're talking about. They were trying to win. It blew up in their face. They started 0-7. There was some improvement after the trades. A lot of it built around the great special teams that was able to help them win a couple games here. Fields had the one outlier game against the Bengals. At the time, the Bengals had a worse defense than the Jets. Again, there's nothing to grab onto here. They have 3 wins. They just had the worst December in NFL history. There's alarming numbers that compare Glenn to other one-and-done coaches. He's been worse. Giving this guy another year, there's just this is as dumb, in my opinion, as the Browns letting Hugh Jackson get a 3rd year after he started 1-31. He's shown you what he is. What are we doing? There's no signs. There was a story that Nick Ferrier wrote on JetX. Every time Aaron Glenn backpedaled on something he said, there were 6 different examples. It's this is what we're talking about. Again, everything he promised, it's been the total opposite. How could Woody Johnson sit there and have any faith he's got the right people going forward? He doesn't.
Hey, take me out. I'll be back in a minute.
You got it. Comments, questions, super chats. Let's see. M123 already waiting for the 26th season to be over. Yeah, I mean, who's the Jet coach in 2027? Yita says, genuine question. If we fire Glenn after 1 year, are we worried other potential coaches won't want to come here because there's no security? No, I'm not. I'll find someone better. It's 1 of 32. It's 1 of 32. Like, it pays really well. It's all guaranteed. You have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 years. You have $100 million in cap space. You have a chance to get a quarterback. Figure it out. Andy Reid was a quarterback coach when the Eagles hired him. Find the next unsung coach that we don't know, right? Josh McCown's a quarterback coach right now. Give him a chance. Offensive guy. Again, I want someone with experience, but my point is, like, if some of the experienced guys say no to the job, then find someone else. Like, you don't just keep Aaron Glenn around because, who else are we going to get? Again, in a perfect world, it's Mike Tomlin or Harbaugh's available. You make the Godfather offer to them. I get all that. But I'm just not going to sit here and be like, well, I can't move on from Glenn because who would want this job? Like, that's not realistic. Mike in San Diego. Thank you, Mike. Hope you're well. He's in the raffle for 10. Everything is double on the memberships and super chats. $10 super chat, normally 2. It's 4 today. So Mr. Chill King in the house in the raffle. We have Pro Bowlers that have regressed under AG. Fans are right to say he isn't qualified to fix a problem. It appears too big for him to fix. He looks like the cause of it all. He needs to go. His answer, when asked about his brand the other day, is one of the worst answers I've ever heard. And if you're defending it, I cannot help you. Again, I will play it again for those who have not seen it. Question is, Glenn, you always talk about your brand, this and that, how you want to play. And the reference he uses is when the Jets are at the time of this moment in time he's talking about here. Again, folks, the Jets are trailing in a game. They eventually lost 48-20. They are down 40-13 in this drive he's about to break down and discuss.
You're talking about your brand and stuff like that. How often have you seen it, and how do you, I don't know, how do you get it to be seen more consistently?
Yeah, well, there was we were playing Jacksonville, and I showed the team this. And if you guys go and watch the way that we ran the ball against Jacksonville, I thought it was very, very impressive on us controlling the line of scrimmage, us running the ball, being physical, being violent. It was actually after the third quarter. It was 12 seconds. We ran the ball. Our guys got into a shoving match. The quarter ends. Then we go down. We have a hell of a run on a physical play, and then we score a touchdown. And then we had other runs after that, and we had the passes that Brady was actually starting to get into a rhythm against Jacksonville. That was the brand of football that I want our guys to see, and I showed the whole team that. Right, defensively, I mean, there were some games early in the season that we were really, really like stymie as far as stopping the run and playing the pass. I showed our guys that. That's the brand that we want to play with. And sometimes you have to show your guys things so it can be remembered on this is how we play. And listen, I understand to the outside world, people might not understand that, but our guys know exactly what our brand is. We just have to do it consistently.
They don't understand what your brand is. That's why Quentin Williams couldn't wait to get out of here. Truth hurts. They don't know what your brand is. That's why Jermaine Johnson, supposed to be one of the leaders, the team scoffed at the question when asked about the effort. They know. That's why Breece Hall is tweeting about, man, offense looks easy for all these other teams. They're doing that because they know they're not being coached. And we could say, it's a bad look for those players. But you know what? Like, they're right. All right, so I'm not going to take Aaron Glenn's side on this one because he has given me no reason to back him. I'd love to back him and say, all the solid former players, they're a bunch of losers, this or that. They're not, though. We've seen them be good football players. Everyone has regressed. It's not alarming that everyone that we've seen be good in the past all of a sudden sucks now. It's mind-boggling to me. He said Will McDonald was going to break out this year because of coaching. Will McDonald went from 10.5 sacks last year to 8. 4 of them came in one game. He had way less pressures. He didn't have the year we thought he was going to have. There's nothing you could point to. He said we're running the Wilkes system. You're the head coach. It's your defense. What do you do all day? What do you do? Seriously, I don't say this to be a dick. I need to know what you do all day. We know 8:05 a.m. Hug from Woody. And then what?
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
It's just like, it's mind-boggling, man. Like, I'm sick of losing. Why is it that we as fans care more about the team than the owner does? It's unbelievable. Nick Shine is back with us. Nick,
Hey, buddy.
what is the Jets brand?
Empty stadium, disappointed fans.
So, like you exactly
Smoke and
right
mirrors.
now at MetLife.
This is as full as it's been in a long time. They got to find an identity, man, and they keep looking and they keep finding the wrong one, or they find ones that don't work. And it's got to start at the top. And Woody's got to make a tough decision. And another ass kicking on Sunday may lead to that decision. So
If Mitchell Trubisky playing in the second half of the game after they pull Allen puts up 40 plus on them, that has to matter, no? Like, that, we're just going to excuse that. It's fine. Like, again, some of the guys on the roster who, quote unquote, aren't playing with effort, they should be playing with effort. They're playing for their NFL livelihoods, and those guys are checked out too. What are we doing?
it's not good, man. And I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I think the next couple days are going to be really awful for Jets fans. The game itself, whether you get the firing or you don't, the news that comes out in the days after, what Glenn's going to do if he retains the job, it's not a good time. That's all I could say. And you know me, man. I look for the positive in anything, and I can't find one right now with this organization. This is as bad as it's been.
It is a helpless feeling. It really is. Couple memberships here. Shout out to Christopher. Thank you, Christopher. You're in the raffle for 2 with this. Common Country in the house. He is in the raffle for 2. Hell to the yeah.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Don't let go, baby. Maddie P, you're in the raffle for 2. Thank you. Aaron checks in, says, we got scammed with all the talk with Glenn. Woody, please wake up and admit you made a huge mistake. Imagine these rookies. Eli will ask for trades. Shake my head. Who's Eli? Imagine rookies. I think he meant to say the rookies will ask for trades. Again, Connor Rogers said agents he spoke with have already said, man, we don't want our clients to go to the Jets. Like, of top draft picks. That's the perception of the Jets a year into Aaron Glenn. He's supposed to change all that. We're the New York Jets. We're built for this bleep. He's made it worse. No one's in here saying Robert Saleh was a great head coach. But again, like, this is... like Aaron Glenn said after they lost week 3 to the Bucs in a game that I was at melting away, we're not the same old Jets. Dude, you're worse than the same. You're the Coke-tight Jets. You're the Adam Gase Jets. Like, this is the worst I felt about the Jets since the Gase year. It's unreal what we're dealing with. Again, it's mind-boggling.
At least we don't have players getting arrested like in New England. Christian Barmore just came out with a domestic abuse case against him now too. So that's multiple Patriots in the last 2 days.
Suspend them, take away all their draft picks, fold the franchise.
That's it.
That's what I would do if I was commissioner.
Horrible. But Vrabel's got his guys in there. We see his type of guys.
Yeah, you got to get his guys. It's like his first big moves were to retain Saleh's players because he arrogantly said, I could take these guys and win with them. It's just coaching, man. It's just coaching.
How was Tony Adams? How was Sherwood?
Isaiah Oliver. Got to bring him back. Michael Clemens. Got to bring him back. He had no guaranteed money left, but they chose to keep him around. We don't need to get better edge depth. Let's roll into the year with Jermaine off and Achilles, Will McDonald, and Michael Clemens. That ought to work. It's just like, what?
Big turnover coming. It's a matter if it hits the front office and the coaching staff as well. But big turnover coming. A lot of new names.
It's just, well, let's go through something here because I think people, again, need to be reminded of what this season has been. Nick Ferry, a good friend of the show over at JetX, wrote a story. The headline is literally, meet the ever-changing faces of Aaron Glenn, the backtracker. We know he's a former corner, so we know Aaron Glenn can backtrack. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go through the different things that Aaron Glenn has flip-flopped on throughout the year. Following his introductory press conference in January, Glenn made it abundantly clear that the team would be winning a lot more games than people expected. Get used to winning, Glenn said. That's all I've been a part of my last couple of years. I don't want to do anything other than that. Winning is all I know. Now, it's not included in the article, but Aaron Glenn, when asked, is this a rebuild? After Quinnen Williams tweeted, I guess another rebuild for me after they got rid of Rodgers, this was Glenn at the Combine addressing that.
We're here to win now, and we're looking forward to it. So any questions?
Yeah, when does the winning start? Because it's never starting with you. October 7th, Glenn altered those comments. It was not just because the teams win the start, but also because he realized the expectations might have been too much for a team in need of talent. What you didn't say is what I said. I'm not thinking about the Super Bowl. I'm not thinking about the playoffs. I'm thinking about building a foundation, Glenn stated. That's exactly what we're doing. Nah, you moved the goalpost. You didn't say anything about that at all. Let's now get to item number 2, the Justin Fields of it all. One of the biggest walkbacks from Glenn occurred at the QB spot. The Jets coach has been going back and forth about the former first-round pick out of Ohio State from the very beginning. At the league meetings in March, Glenn confidently said the Jets had the answers to get Fields to play at a high level. They would simply allow him to, quote, play quarterback. So how did letting Fields play quarterback work? Turned out that the Jets gave Fields 9 games, and the signal caller did little to prove his worth. He had 4 games with under 50 net passing yards and was benched twice. Why didn't the Jets plan for Fields to work out? Glenn's answer was complex. There are a number of things, he said on November 19th. Obviously, offensively, you want the passing game to be better. And listen, that's not totally on him. There's a number of things that go into that. That's myself. That's the routes. That's ran. That's drop balls. That's including him. Again, can't blame the offensive line, which is what we would do in the past. You can blame the lack of weapons, which every Jet fan told you was a problem. Also, not in the story that should be in here. Remember when Glenn lectured us about Xavier Gibson, how good he was at catching punts at practice? Oh, you guys don't know. He's our best punt returner. He's catching all the punts. They lost week 1 to Rodgers because Xavier Gibson was on the roster. That's why they lost week 1, because he muffed the kickoff return.
He carried the ball in the wrong hand. He carried it on the inside hand where they just smacked it and it popped out.
And then remember when he lectured us about Michael Clemens, and then week 2, Clemens got that horrific roughing the passer penalty against Josh Allen that really set the wheels in motion for the Jets to be slaughtered.
The one time we had a 3rd down stop. It gets negated.
Number 3, the duality of competition. Why didn't Fields go through a quarterback competition? Why was there a position battle at the center position, but not at quarterback? The answer, unfortunately, is one of Glenn's many ever-changing explanations. In March, Glenn said that while Fields was going to be penciled in as a starting QB, he would have to compete every day in practice. So just because Fields is our quarterback doesn't mean that Tyrod's not going to be on the hill. Everybody has to. You got to have a depth chart. That's what the league is. But there's going to be competition. Fields knows that. Tyrod knows that. And that's across the board. Every position on this team, there's going to be competition. It's such BS because, as Nick notes in the article, Joe Tippmann had to compete with Josh Myers to be the starting center when AVT was still healthy. You made Joe Tippmann, who's accomplished and is he's accomplished more as just a better football player than Fields has at this point. He's a guy who had to compete for his starting job with a journeyman center. But Justin Fields, who's proven nothing his first 4 years in the league and was a backup in Pittsburgh the prior season, he gets handed a starting job? Why? Again, they gave him $30 million guaranteed. That's why. How do you be this wrong about a guy? And now let that same guy who was dead wrong about Fields, Wilkes, everything else, pick the next quarterback in the direction the team goes going forward? Joke. Another item here. Number 4, a team to be proud of. Aaron Glenn has been trying to build excitement around the team since his introductory press conference. Since that excitement dimmed, though, the Jets coach has been walking back comments in the worst possible way. Among the worst violations of this was his talk about pride. On September 2nd, the Jet coach had a simple goal for his team before the year began. I want the team to be a team where the fans will look up and say, we're proud of that team. And if they say that, I'll be happy. I'll be happy because within that, I know that wins will come. 2 months later, though, he walked back those comments after an 0-7 start. I want to be a team that fans are proud of, Glenn said. But again, I never said that we're going to be proud of them right now. Laughable. At some point, I want this to be a team that fans are proud of. I still stick with that. Again, let's keep moving the goalpost. And then here we go. Number 5. Most of Glenn's walkbacks have been regarding the defensive players and the roster in general. After Sunday's loss to the Patriots, though, the Jets head coach decided that enough was enough. Players were questioned for their effort and inability to put up much of a fight in a 42-10 loss. Quote, I always talk about how we come out and play with effort. Today was the one time I felt our effort wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. The coach's comments came as a surprise to some in the locker room. Edge rusher Jermaine Johnson seemingly disagreed with Glenn, despite keeping a professional tone. If Glenn wanted to instill some accountability with his comments, those hopes were quickly squashed when he walked back his criticisms on Monday. Getting a chance to look at it last night and look at it again this morning, I'll say effort was not the issue with that game. I thought our guys played all the way to the very end. What really showed up is they did some things schematically, I thought, that was challenging offensively and defensively that we really have to take a look at and hone in and try and fix those things. So is it an effort issue or is it not? Why was it suddenly an issue on Sunday immediately after the game, but not the case on Monday? Again, there's others that Nick missed. I think he did a pretty good job covering a lot of them. It's just like, what are we doing here, folks? He's either admitting they quit on him or, oh, bad PR. Let's walk that back. So they got completely out-schemed, which is what happens every single week. Look at the first half point differential for the Jets this year. Look at the amount of times they are blown out, specifically early in games when they had Sauce and Quinnen for everyone saying they're tanking. Oh! All right, do the Bills game, do the Bucks game, do the Dolphins game, the Cowboys game. Like, again, look at what your eyes are telling you. It is not normal for a team to be this bad. And every metric, every number has backed that out. So I would love to know how Woody Johnson could see all this and just say, it's all good. Spend $100 million, draft the quarterback. Go for it, Aaron. You got a great plan because it's really working.
The only game that we looked completely competent in was the opener against the Steelers.
Yep.
But there was discussions that we had at the time is now that everyone knows what your identity is and what you want to run, how do you maintain that? And they couldn't. As soon as they put out their plan on film, teams were able to eliminate it, take away the strengths, and just make them ineffective. You could see that with Justin Fields and his horrible performances time and time again. They were able to take away the easy reads for him, and he didn't go through his progressions well, but they went to bat for Fields, and that was their guy. So if you're going to make all these bold brand gestures and statements and be there so definitively at the mic, and as Nick did a great job pointing out in the article, you can't do that and then constantly just change it. Like, if you have to eventually hit on something, and he's hit on nothing.
Again, what does
bad.
he do well as a head coach? And if you want to sit here and tell me he hired Chris Banjo, great. He gets credit for that. You know what's funny? You know who Mike Vrabel retained on his coaching staff when he got to New England? He retained the special teams coordinator. And again, if Mike McCarthy was the Jet head coach next year, or Josh McCown, or insert whoever, they would retain Banjo as well because he's done a really good job. But that is not as important as getting the OC hire right, which I don't know about Angstrom, man. I can't sit here and be like, he sucks or he's great. But like, again, major questions there. We know Wilkes was an unmitigated disaster. He already fired him. It's just, what are we grabbing onto? What are we hanging our hat on that we had the right coach for what's about to be, again, an offseason that could set the franchise back another 5 years before we see anything resembling an 8 or 9 win season? Again, this franchise hasn't won more than 7 games in a decade. Like, we don't need to pretend like it takes 3-4 years for this rebuild. It doesn't. Look around the league. Look how quickly all these other bad teams have figured it out. As bad as the Browns have been, they've been to the playoffs 2 times with a coach they're about to fire, and Kevin Stefanski. It just, there's just so many examples, man. But I'll get to some super chats now because it's demoralizing. It really is. Christopher writes in. Go ahead.
I got to run. I just wanted to say
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. Jake, I'm going to grab the Bible and say a prayer for you, my friend.
Thank you.
Chat, everyone, be safe. Have a great Happy New Year. Be smart. Take the Uber. There's no reason to go out there and drive tonight. It's worth the inconvenience of going back tomorrow to get your car. Be smart, everyone. God bless. Go Jets. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Go
Nick
Jets.
Shine Show, YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine.
Don't let go of the rope. Don't let go of the rope.
All right, some super chats here. Happy New Year, everybody. Christopher says, personally, I draft Reese and best players available. They need a quarterback, man, but I mean, Arvell Reese is awesome, so I understand why you like him. Jetstream writes in, we just can't keep a coach for the sake of stability. I've never wanted the coach to go one and done more than right now. I think there's more reason to move on from Glenn than there was for Kraft to move on from Mayo. Again, you could argue it. Believe I know what this looks like. I did that. That's why I'm so aggressive with this, folks. I did this in Houston. I lived through David Culley and Lovie Smith back-to-back years. Trust me. Like, if anyone, like, I think Jay Lepselter lives in Houston and he would listen to the radio. He knows the Texans well. Like, I'm getting, like, I got a text from someone that covers the Texans being like Culley 2.0. I go, I know. Thank you for the super chat, though, Jetstream. I appreciate you. Peter Castro says, Jake, Nick, this is really scary. It is because this fan base, we care more than the owner, seemingly. Wesley Gates says, 1 year as an Asmaniac, man. Woody isn't firing Glenn because his reaction to the tailgaters and season tickets means he loves money more than a successful season. Well, if he loves money, again, who's showing up at the building next year? Like, who's renewing their season tickets after a season like this? I think fan morale is at an all-time low for this franchise. Les says maybe Glenn should change careers and be a politician. He's certainly good at saying one thing and doing the opposite. Heineken says, Happy New Year. The team president, Jaime El High, needs to go first. Then go hire someone that knows football to run the organization. Woody just signs the checks. Look at the Knicks. Again, it starts with who you hire. No one's chanting sell the team at James Dolan anymore because he hired the right people and let them do their jobs. And I understand that we all don't want Woody to meddle this, but like, can anyone blame him if he made a move here? Like, we know what's happening. We all see it with our own eyes. We don't need to pretend. Comments, questions, super chats. We're giving away this football on the show today. It's a signed football by each member of the New York Sack Exchange. I'll mail it to you today if you win. Every super chat, $10 or higher, is double the entries. Same with every gifted membership. Again, I know I'm miserable right now, but Happy New Year to everyone. I really appreciate everyone who tunes into the show. You guys are the best. I just wish for once the Jets weren't just a disaster because I'm so sick of it. I really am. Let's get to more of your calls, or let's get to all your calls. First up today is a man where you will guess for the final time this year where he's calling from.
What's going on, Jake? How are you?
You brought back old reliable for the final one.
That's right. I think that if we get the expected result, and probably even if we don't get the expected result on Sunday, we should probably, as a community, reach out to the Jets, email them, call them, tweet at them, go to their Facebook page, and let them know our displeasure with the head coach, because he is not getting it done. I think it's important that they know that the fan base sees what's going on. And, basically just let them know that it's not going unnoticed. There can be consequences in the real world as far as people not renewing seasons, not buying merch. If they choose not to care about it, then there's not much we can do about it. All we can do is choose not to care ourselves.
Yeah, it's fair.
Right. So that's really where I reside with Glenn. As far as what you and Nick were saying about the possibility of Simpson and Moore coming out, I think they're both coming. I think Moore is coming because he's going to be a top 5 pick. And I think that Simpson is coming because he's going to feel competition next year in his spot in Alabama. And I think it makes, ultimately, I think it's going to make sense for him to come out because I think he will be a first rounder. And that's basically all I had. Have a great New Year. I'll talk to you guys later.
Happy New Year, Kyle. Well said. Update from the head coach, Brady Cook will start the finale. Brady Cook for one last time. Tyrod Taylor is back with the team from his personal issue. Aaron Glenn saying the following players won't practice today: Breece Hall, Mason Taylor, Joe Tippmann, Isaiah Davis, Xavier Newman, Quantez Stiggers, Michael Clemens. I don't think Breece plays in this game Sunday for what it's worth. I think he's checked out now that he got his 1,000 yards. He doesn't want to get hurt going into free agency. Can you blame him? Haven't heard this yet. And I don't want to listen to too much, Glenn. It's going to make me angry. So I'll play one clip here that the Jets tweeted themselves, and we'll get back to your calls. Here's Coach Glenn, according to the Jets Twitter here. Coach Glenn on his self-evaluation process.
Are we?
Here we go. Let's listen to our fearless leader.
Number one, how have I operated when it comes to game management situations? That's the first thing I want to look at. Also, hiring process. Picking players, like all those things. Are we really getting? Are we really actually doing the things that we say we want to do? As far as how do we want to build this foundation of players, of coaches, of how to operate in game? Like all those things, I try to evaluate. And doesn't mean that I did the wrong thing. No, it's just I sit back and look at it and make sure I'm doing the right things. I mean, there's some things I know I have to clean up, no doubt. But there are other things I want. Okay, did I go about this the right way? Okay, yeah, I did. I'm good. Let's go on to the next one. Number one.
I mean, I could scream and yell, but again, anyone inspired hearing that? It's just it's whatever. Jetstream in the house. Thank you, Jetstream. How about a 10 spot from Jetstream? It's double the fun, which means 20 raffle entries to win this signed New York Stock Exchange football at the end of the show. Hit it.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
I'm just laughing at that. He's like, well, who I hire. It's like, did I hire the wrong people? You already fired Wilkes. Whatever. I said I wouldn't yell about that clip. I don't have it in me anymore. I don't. I've been up since 4 a.m. Did 4 hours of radio today doing this. You got me, Aaron Glenn. You defeated me. I can't scream anymore. Common Country says, do you think Garrett Wilson's bad relationship with Rodgers factored into the decision to release him and sign Fields? I think part of the Fields signing, sure, they knew that he'd have chemistry with Garrett. I don't think that's why they signed him, though. I think they truly thought, here's a guy with upside we can coach up. The problem is saying he's never been coached properly. We're going to let him play quarterback, and it goes as poorly as it did. It's a major red flag as you are about to hand this regime a chance to draft Dante Moore, Mendoza, Simpson, whatever the plan is. People are saying, go sign Malik. Why would Malik Willis go to the Jets? Why would anyone go to the Jets if they have other options? Seriously, if you're Malik Willis, who's finally going to get a chance to play quarterback somewhere, you're going to go to a team with a real offensive coach because you sucked when you were in Tennessee when they didn't have an offensive coach, which is why you had to go to Green Bay. You learned from a really good offensive play caller in Matt LaFleur. Got to sit behind Jordan Love for 2 years. The Jets will have Kirk Cousins if he's released or Marcus Mariota. That's what we're looking at. Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the type of quarterback they're going to have. And then they'll draft someone. I still believe. Matty P, if they keep Glenn, there needs to be a power shift towards Muji. If they can't make that shift, then there's no trust in either guy, and it's time to move on. Look, I think Muji's done okay, right? I don't think we need to put him in Canton. But some of the in-season moves, I think, have been good, right? But if they got to move on from Glenn, and it means you lose Muji too, so be it, man. All right, but the draft, Jake. Again, Armand Membu's a stud. All the credit in the world. But when you're picking number 7, you have to get that right. Yes, you get credit for it, but it's if we just did a consensus board on who the Jets should pick at 7, we all would have came to the same conclusion. It was either Membu or Warren. And by the way, both would have been good picks. Maybe Warren wouldn't have been as good with the Jets because of the quarterback situation, but he's a really good player too. Or Loveland, I guess, was, who actually went before Warren. Again, you're supposed to get the top 7 picks right. But after that, Mason Taylor's okay. He's not bad. I think he'll be a solid pro. AZ Thomas was good, but he's hurt. I think we played 7 or 8 games. They lit a pick on fire as we knew at the time. Where are all the Arian Smith defenders, by the way? You're going to apologize to people like Connor Rogers, who told you this was a 7th-round player, or Dom C, who told you this guy should have been undrafted, or Dylan Terrellman, who told you this guy was a major reach in the 4th round? Or no, we'll just shit on them in real time and then never acknowledge that, hey, we were just fanboys when, we were rooting for Arian Smith because he's really fast. Again, Tyler Barron, they traded up for. Who? Exactly. He stinks. So, we could talk about the draft. Membu's a stud, no doubt. But, it's not enough where it's I got to keep Muji at all. Again, if Woody got a real coach who wanted to bring in his own personnel guy, that's what needs to be done. Jay Reeves says, fire AJ. Happy birthday, Jay Reeves. Happy birthday. Even though you're too afraid to ever call into the show. What?
Calm your freaky down.
No, I pressed the wrong drop. I meant to play this for you, Jay. Happy birthday.
You clown-sucking douchebag.
I kid. All right, more of your calls here. Shout out to everyone who's tuned in. Let's say hello to Ron, who's up next on our show today. Happy New Year, Ron.
Happy New Year, Jake. How you doing? Second-time caller. Talked to you last week. Hey, my concern is, we're going to have a shot at a really good quarterback in the top of the draft, and is which kid is going to want to get a call from Aaron Glenn, knowing his record? Everybody knows what's going on there now. What quarterback is really going to want to get a call? Hey, we'd like you to join the New York Jets. And also their parents. Like, what dad is going to want them to come to the Jets by what we're seeing out there? Especially like Simpson's dad's a college coach. Like, what is he going to really want his son go and get his career possibly ruined by our head coach and our quarterback coaches, which is actually a running back? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't know. I don't know what the sell is to free agents. If you're a legit defensive coordinator with options, why would you come to the Jets? Like, I just think this year has gone so bad that like you're already, I think, hamstringing your ability to get like the top people in all three facets of coaching staff, free agency, and then like you'll be able to get people in the draft, sure, but like again, like the fact that player agents of top prospects are telling Connor Rogers, who's NBC's top draft guy, that they don't want their clients to go to the Jets, and we're a year into a brand new regime, and that's the perception already. That is alarming. I don't care what anyone says to try and spin it otherwise.
It is. And if you go back in time, there are people like Eli Manning didn't want to go to the Chargers when they were a train wreck. When John Elway didn't want to go to the Colts back then. So if you're a top quarterback, you can actually they can actually put that out there. They don't want to go to the Jets or go back to stay in college just because of that. That's the fear because it's such a train wreck right now. This team, the perception.
Yeah. 100%. It's just,
but
I wish I had more for you, man. But like again, like it's just like it's pretty bleak right now. If we're being honest, like we gotta call for how it is.
It is. But Jake, great job once again. You had me laughing again today, so keep it up. And I'm cooking right now, and here's my wife back there. Happy New Year. We're just I'm here in New Jersey right now.
Love it.
Love it,
Hi. You're funny as hell.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Your husband's awesome.
Yeah, I know he is.
Jake, you have a good one, Jake.
You too, Ron. Happy New Year to you and your wife. I appreciate it. All right, I said I wasn't going to yell. I might yell here, so warning for people. Zach Rosenblatt just tweeted this. I'm going to have to hear this. Aaron Glenn was asked what have been the positives for the Jets this season. His answers: running the ball on offense, penalty improvement, special teams as a whole, the field goal team. Glenn specifically highlighted how they haven't had any field goals blocked this season. Does anyone actually think any of this shit matters? Like, at the end of the day, does anyone actually think any of this actually fucking matters in the modern NFL? Not saying it doesn't, lead to potentially balancing the scales of a tight one-score game, but the Jets are getting blown out every week. So none of this actually matters. Penalty improvement. Denver and Jacksonville, I believe, are in the top 5 in penalties committed this year. Well, it's a problem. It has not stopped them from winning. Running the ball on offense. Right, when they, in garbage time, ran the ball against the Jaguars in that drive of all drives when the Jets were down 40-13 that Aaron Glenn highlighted and had to show the team. Again, the head coach was asked what positives have been for the Jets. He points to the special teams for 2 of the 4 things he referenced. And again, I am so disgusted with how this year has played out. If you think this is what wins in the modern NFL, you're on crack. You are actually on drugs. You're on more drugs than Mad Max. Like honestly, like this is an answer you'd get from like a head coach who's like pretending to be a head coach. This is what the positives have been. Running the ball, penalty improvement. By the way, it's not like they're like top 10 in penalty. Like I think they were at 14 or 15 I saw. So they're middle of the pack. Let's talk about penalty improvement. Do you remember that when the Jets were down 25 points to the Patriots on Sunday, Jordan Clark committed a taunting penalty after an incompletion when they were against Stephon Diggs? Remember that? You're down 25 points, 28-3, and you're committing a taunting penalty. So I really don't care about the penalty improvement when stuff like that is still happening. Like, again, these are the positives that we're going to accentuate here from the head coach. He's asked to show what his brand looks like. He references the game they lost 48-20 and we're down 31-10 at halftime. Like, this is a joke. This is David Culley in Houston. I lived it. I'm telling you all. This is that. That's why I'm so strongly opinionated on this. I lived this already. I talked about it for 4 hours a day. I'm doing it again now, just not on radio this time. Although I've been on the radio 13 of the last 15 days and will be again tomorrow for 3 more hours. But I'm doing this on YouTube. Like, this is the Culley thing again. Like, this is why Quinnen Williams couldn't wait to get the F out of here. Special teams and the field goal team. Again, we could retain Banjo and move on from Glenn. Problem solved. Run it. Have the Jets really run the ball that well? Or are their rushing numbers inflated by the fact they had Justin Fields for 9 games? I think Brees Hall just went over 1,000 yards. Where are they running the ball well? They just had the worst month of December ever. Ever in like football history, not Jet history, football history. They were outscored their last 4 games, 153-46 alone. The combined score of 153-46 is an average of around 38-11, getting your bleep kicked in every week. This has to be a goddamn joke. What is Woody Johnson thinking retaining this guy? It's enough. They haven't had a field goal blocked. That's what we're pointing to. And by the way, it just a big reason they lost week 1 against the Steelers, for what it's worth, is because didn't Nick Folk miss the PAT, or did it get tipped? I forget. And they had to go for 2, and they obviously didn't get it. And it was week 1, so no one remembers. But it's just like, whatever. We didn't have I'm going to lose my mind. I cannot. They didn't have a field goal blocked. Again, defend this, people. Please, someone tell me why Aaron Glenn deserves another year other than, well, he's a Jet 30 years ago, man. Holy crap, man. Mike says, if what Connor Rogers is saying is true, we're effed. Also means we'll overpay for free agents that don't want to be here. We don't deserve this as fans. Yeah, again, Connor said it. He said it on Badlands. I heard him say it. I listened to it twice. I was like, wow. Agents of prominent players in this year's draft class, right? Not 7th round guys, but Connor said top players. Their agents have already said, man, we don't want our guys going to the Jets. Now, they can't control that, right? The Jets, you draft the player, you draft the player. Or they use their 2nd round picks on the player. That player can't be like, I'm not going. That's not going to happen. They'll get whoever they draft. But the fact that that's the perception of the Jet organization a year into this is an abomination.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Again, people, what are we doing wasting our time here? Bino, Happy New Year. F. Glenn, let's pray for a Black Monday miracle. Here's the 2026 The Brigger Way achievement. Jetstream, we have a shot at a franchise quarterback, and AG is ensured that the most Jet thing will happen when the quarterback we draft refuses to play for us and demands a trade. What the bleeping bleep? I mean, again, I'm going to have to listen to how he said this. But if these are the positives from a 3-13 season, running the ball, penalty improvement, and the special teams, and noting how they haven't had a kick block this year. Holy crap, man. Can the bar be any lower? He said we're here to win now. He said we'll coach up players. We'll develop players. And now it's, well, we haven't had a kick block this year. It's pretty good, huh? Nah? You guys see that one? You guys see that Nick Folk kick? It wasn't blocked. Nobody blocked it. Nobody blocked it. No one even came close. Like, what are we doing, man? We could pretend like this is normal if you want. It's not. I'm telling you, this is not normal. This is not what it should look like. I don't care what the talent is. I don't care who they traded. This is not normal. It is not normal to be this bad. It's not. Shouldn't look like this. Don't let go of the rope, though. Don't let go of the rope. It's just, wow. Oh, all right. More calls. Alec is next. Hello, Alec. I can't hear you, Alec. Your mic is muted.
You hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Happy New Year.
You too,
Obviously, Jets New Year is always something fresh. We have something new to bitch about. We certainly have problems to look at. I mean, I hopped in here in the middle of your stream. I don't know what happened for the first 4 hours, but I'm so sorry. I haven't seen you this kind of at loss of words from frustration from a coaching staff in a long time. I mean, this is just disappointing. I decided to stop watching at the end of this first half last week. I'm barely watching the games. I can't hold on. It's just a waste of time. And the one thing I can consistently say is when we're watching the Jets, it doesn't matter who we're playing. It doesn't matter even if we're in the flow of scoring. Everything looks difficult. And it's looked this way for 5, 6, 7 years. And I don't know the exact answer for that because we've tried so many different coaching staffs, but clearly we don't have either the right head coach in place, the right OC in place, or everything is not in place every time we have these struggles. I will sit here and say that Woody has to go. That's the answer for everything. It's never going to happen. I thought when he bought Crystal Palace or bought his little ownership stake, he'd sell the Jets and use that money to go do whatever over there. I guess not. If we have some type of answer, it's not Aaron Glenn. I mean, at this point, I've given up everything. I've said this, I think, 5 or 6 weeks ago, the last time I called in.
Weren't you yelling at me at the beginning of the year about Glenn, if I remember? Didn't you try to defend him? Was that you? Or am I confusing you with a different caller?
No, I mean, Glenn was like going into the offseason. Like, I'll admit it. Like, Glenn was on my short list of just DCs that I would bring in as a head coach. My offensive options were Cliff Kingsbury, and I forget who else I had on my top list. Ironically, if you go back really far enough, I'm pretty sure Sherrod Moore was one of the people I listed at one point.
Sherrod Moore.
Yeah,
he's available now.
We don't want him. But there was definitely some more, like, for me, I wanted an offensive coach. And I think we need a coach with experience. That's why coaching matters is my tag in this one. If we don't bring in somebody who can be creative on offense, bring in a proper quarterback coach who's going to coach up our talent and give these guys a reason to believe that they can be NFL caliber. The regression is crazy, but I can't help but believe it's because half of these guys don't have any confidence anymore. There's no reason to believe they are NFL worthy players. There's no reason that half of these guys should get a second contract, not even from us. They shouldn't get a contract from half of the league, if not more. So a lot of these guys, I just don't feel like have the ability mentally to compete in the game. And we're looking at a team that quits week after week. We're looking at the team that celebrates the most minute little things. And we act like we're giants when realistically we have been the joke of the league for the longest time.
Oh, and he's made it worse. He came in talking that talk. We're here to win now. We're the New York Jets. We're built for this bleep. And it's such nonsense, man. Everything he said he would improve has not happened. He has moved the goalpost. We just read an entire article of different things that he said would do this, and the opposite happened. Or, oh, I never said that. Yes, you did. It's on the record. We all read. We read the story. We read the quotes. I play them all the time. Like, again, it's laughable, man. It's laughable. Get used to winning. That's all I've been a part of my last couple of years. I don't want to do anything than that. Winning is all I know. That's what he said when he first got the job. Let's stop pretending like he had this master plan. They had no plan. He has not earned the right to get a second year with a brand new plan and all these resources. Thanks for the 3 and 14 year. See you later. Let's get a real coach who could draft the right quarterback and actually hire a good staff and get the right people in with the just truckload of resources we have to actually do this right once and for all and be a competent team.
I agree. And you know, something that maybe I misremember this from the early season, and maybe you have a better memory of it. I think I remember Muji saying during a press conference that he had not really known Glenn prior to the process of like going in for this job. They weren't necessarily talking about coming in together. I don't know if they built such a friendship that they
first met when Glenn interviewed for the Broncos job.
Okay.
And apparently Glenn impressed Denver. They stayed in touch. Him and Glenn met then. They stayed in touch, but they've never worked together. That is true. But yeah. Glenn wanted Muji to be the GM when he was hired as head coach. It was supposed to be Lance Newmark, and then magically it went from Newmark to then all of a sudden it became Darren Muji.
And I'm not anti-Muji. I kind of
I'm
agree with
indifferent
you.
on him. He's done his
Yeah.
job far better than Glenn has done his. But if I got to get rid of both to have a chance here, you do it in 2 seconds.
You swap both out in a heartbeat. But I think that Muji's power play happened in that mid-season trade where he just said, I don't care if this is basically going to tank your job, Glenn. Like, you could probably lose your job this season because I'm trading the only 2 decent pieces on your defense.
See, I don't know though,
Granted,
because I think Glenn still had autonomy to make those moves. I think he sold Woody on a plan of like, oh well, we're gonna get all these picks and we're gonna get you the quarterback you've always wanted, Woody. Like, this is our path to doing it. Trust me. Like we're not actually gonna win anything with these guys. Like, watch what we'll do. Like, I'm telling you, Woody fell for another con job. That's what this has become. I just hope that enough people are loud enough now and enough people can actually get across to him. What we're watching is not normal. It's historically bad. It is not good. He was just asked at a presser what positives he could highlight, and he's talking about running the ball, penalty improvement, and the special teams.
Running the ball is laughable. That is laughable.
Alec, great call. They're getting their shit kicked in every week running the ball. Oh, my God. It's not a running league anymore. That's not what wins. It is stunning. CJ says, Alex, another delusional fan who's in favor of firing a coach after 1 year. The vast majority of the fan base agrees with Alec, CJ. All right. You want to defend 3-13? You want to defend historically inept? Do it on your own time. See you later.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
It's disgusting. Disgusting. Super chat from Bino. He is in the Asmaniac raffle with this for 4. Everything is boosted today, folks. Final show of the year. Again, Happy New Year, everybody. I know I'm disgusted with the Jets, but I really do appreciate everyone who tunes in. We all love this. Even if you disagree with me, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, obviously. But we all want the same thing at the end of the day. The Jets not to suck, which they will continue to suck if they retain this coaching staff. Because it's just, holy shit, man. So Samini added some context to the Glenn positives. This was Rich's tweet. Glenn highlighted positives in today's presser, and particularly pointed to the run game, penalty reduction, special teams, the stats. Rushing offense is 7th. They were 31st last year. Penalties 23rd. They were 31st last year. They're not even in the top half of the league, and he's citing penalties. They were 31st in penalties last year. They're 23rd this year. 23rd. 23rd. Penalties. They committed 13 penalties on Monday Night Football, lost that Dolphins game, and their season was cooked at 0-4. Holy hell. Special teams. Yes, the special teams is excellent. Great. Thank you for Chris Banjo. We should thank Mike Westhoff for recommending him. Tremendous. I can retain Banjo. Mike Westhoff was the Jet special teams coordinator for how many different Jet coaches? Herm, Mangini, and Rex. Brant Boyer, who was good for a while till last year, was the Jet special teams coordinator for how many different head coaches? Gase. Before that, Bowles. After Gase, Saleh. Holy hell, man. Penalties. Bringing up penalties is a positive. 23rd in the league. How could you say that's a positive? Bino says, no scheme growth, no player growth at premium positions, no identity formation, what they want to be, no execution, trends that lead to wins. We didn't have a field goal blocked. Internal evaluation has collapsed. I can't believe he said we didn't have a field goal blocked. Holy hell, man. Holy hell. All right, more of your calls. Appreciate all of you hanging out here. Ladies and gentlemen, up next is a man who's got the best beard of 2025.
Holy shit, look at that beard! He has a beard, he's the man. Ain't no Santa Claus. Papa Jet loves the Jets. He's one hand handsome son of a bitch. It's Papa Jet.
Hey, Jake, you got me?
Oh, we got you.
Hey, I kind of disagree with Alec there. You've been at a loss for words since I joined the Asmaniacs. So that's a good 2 years running. But Jake, and first off, too, thanks for all the content this year, 2025, and I'll be here in 2026, God willing. So, Jake, I know on previous calls I said I'm a kind of a 2 year guy. I like to give coaches and players 2 years, but I think I'm gonna have to go back on my word on that one with Glenn. It's one thing if he's 3-13 and you see I'm not seeing no improvement anywhere, especially the defense. Even if you got guys on IR, and I don't care, you got practice squad guys playing. I mean, they're out of position, I mean, there's nothing to see, So I'm not gonna shed any tears if I wake up on Black Monday and they fired him, But if they keep him, I'm going to root for him because I got no other choice. We're Jet fans, But Jake, I know probably a week or so ago I said if the Jets beat Buffalo, closing out that stadium, that'd be my Super Bowl. Because I don't get into all this tank stuff because whether you're drafting 1, 2, 3. Wherever. I mean, there's no guarantees because it's the draft. We know that. Does it give you a better chance if you're drafting 1? But, I mean, there's guys already in the chat talking we got a tank right in 2027. I'm not.
Well, if they keep this coach, you're not going to have to worry about that. I mean, again, it's just there's no point. If the Bills had a chance to, make the playoffs or something, I get it. The best thing, and I hate to say this, but this is where we're at. The best thing is for the Jets to lose 50-0 on Sunday, and that hopefully wakes the owner up that we can't move forward here.
Yeah,
that's the best thing at this point. It sucks. I don't enjoy doing it, believe me. But again, we are at a point now where anyone who thinks this somehow turns around when the head coach of the team is citing the positives of running the ball when they've been blown out all year. And the running game is not, we watch the games with this great running game, please. A bunch of BS. The special teams, which, is excellent, but that's all you could point to. The penalty improvement, they went from 31st in penalties to 23rd. And that's the only thing you could point to. You're not getting a second year with $100 million in cap space and a chance to ruin a quarterback. No way. You've done nothing to earn that after everything you said backfired and you walked it all back.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I'm usually a 2 year guy, but I'm not seeing anything to get my hopes up, And Jake, do you know if the Jets do lose Sunday, do you know if we're guaranteed at least third, or can we still drop back because of the strength of schedule with other teams?
If they lose, they're guaranteed top 3. If the Giants win and the Jets lose, they move up to 2. That's the scenario.
Okay,
They can't get to 1.
But I mean, because there's 2 or 3 other teams that are tied with us, right? As far as 3 wins, I just didn't know even if we lose, if the strength of because I don't understand all that crap, So because if they can go back to 4, 5, or 6, then I'm rooting for a win. That's all I got in Bills territory. That'd be my only ammo. And
you
it's
don't
pretty
want to win,
sad to say that.
Happy New Year, but I'm telling you, winning does nothing at this point. Nothing at all.
Yeah. Okay, bud. Well, hey, if you go out tonight, be safe, and are you having a show tomorrow?
Maybe. Probably not with the games on, actually. Probably not. No show till Friday.
Okay. Well, I'll see you then. Everybody be safe tonight.
Papa Jet, everyone. Happy New Year. There's a comment from a guy, and I shouldn't probably acknowledge it because I think he's delusional, but I'll acknowledge it. I'll play along. Why not? It's from 1189 who says, Jake Asman's pissed because Glenn cut Rodgers. Rodgers wasn't going to win more than 6 games with the Jets. Again, they can move on from Rodgers. Your plan can't be everything they invested in Justin Fields, what they said about him, how bad it looked, and then on top of everything else. If you think the only reason why I'm down on Glenn is because of the Rodgers decision last April or March, whenever that was, you're out of your mind. Everything this guy has said, he's been wrong. Nothing is improved. He promised player development. He promised coaching. And he is on his way to being the worst head coach that was one and done since 2018. And he might not be one and done. Holy hell. That's what we're talking about, man. Has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. Has everything to do with the fact this guy does nothing well. You have agents of draft prospects telling Connor Rogers of Badlands, NBC, and SNY, man, we really don't want our clients to go to the Jets. That's the perception. Who wants to be the DC of the Jets next year when you know you're not winning any games with this head coach and he's going to be fired and we're going to do a coach search a year from now? Why would you take the job? You getting the best candidates? It's like when the Jets tried to find someone to basically hold Hackett's hand, right? And Salah's like, I can't get anyone because everyone knows we're lame ducks if we don't win. They've created that scenario going into year 2. It has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. The Aaron Rodgers thing, I would have kept him. I wanted them back. I wanted Devontae back, Rodgers pay cut, and then drafting a quarterback. That was what I wanted. And I think if you want to build a winning culture, you do that by winning games. None of this preachy nonsense he's talking about, which everything he said is not true. Like they are historically bad. Again, the New York Jets are one of the worst teams since 1978 in combined offensive and defensive DVOA. That's what we're talking about here, folks. I know the Jets have been bad for a while, but this is a different level of bad, even by Jet standards. Gary Thies says, I think most fans want Muji to stay if Glenn's one and done, but how likely is he to be kept on? I don't know. I'm not even convinced Glenn's going to be one and done, so I don't know. I wouldn't have a problem if Muji was here and, him and Spielman work towards hiring a coach, right? I mean, Rick Spielman in that front office. He's been a GM for 2 different teams. That's a good resource. Kyle Clifton says, some of you might not know we've had 0 fires at One Jets Drive this year. Aaron Glenn. Congrats to Papa Jet on taking down my Boomtown 89ers in the final and winning the most electrifying Asmaniac Fantasy Football League ever. Well done, sir. Congrats, Boomtown. I'm coming in second. But the real congrats to Papa Jet. Brutal. All right, more of your calls right now. Appreciate all of you wanting to be a part of the show. Let's check in with a man we have not heard from in quite some time. All right, we're ending the year in style. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mikey Midnight.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything, I promise.
Mikey? Who could have seen that one coming? Wah, wah, wah. All right. Mikey, try and call back, and we'll do what we can. More of your calls right now. Hey, Pork.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Pork.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be happy on Monday. Hopefully we're dancing in the streets somewhere. I mean, it's a shame that a man has to lose his job, that we have to do that, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a shit show right now, and it's because of him. He's the guy at the top. He made all these moves. He decided to blow it up. He beat his chest in front of everybody, said what a great leader he was, this and that. Then they start losing. And then they trade away, cornerstones of the franchise, right? So he could build his team. But what I've seen is disgusting. It makes me sick. Those teams you just listed up there, they're all-time bad teams.
That's where we are. That's the problem. We are an all-time bad team.
Ever bad. 1 win, 0 wins. Teams that 91 Colts, oh my. The 05 Niners, the 2002 Texans, they're expansion teams. See, and this is a guy that supposedly wanted the job, that knows the job. He don't know shit. Man, he should be out, panhandling at the end of the season. That's how bad he is. He won't ever get another job after this job. Never. Not a head coaching job, not a top coordinator job.
No, he'll be an assistant, and that's okay. He might be a good assistant coach. I'm sure he is. But what he is trying to do, he is not qualified to do in 2025 going into 2026. He's not. The league is so different. He acts like you could just try and win with like rah-rah, getting guys just to buy in, smash mouth football. But it's like that's not what wins. And again, he's a defensive guy, and they have one of the worst defenses in NFL history. What are we doing? We don't need to pretend like any of this is normal.
It doesn't work against Josh Allen and guys like that. You know, your rah-rah bullshit. It might work as an assistant or some part of the game or, you know, as a coordinator, whatnot, a position coach. Yeah, but not the head coach. You know what I mean? The head coach got to oversee everything, make all the tough decisions. And every tough decision that he's made is wrong. You know, if there's you know, a mold of what not to do, he is it. You know, everything he touches turns to shit. He touched that defense. Wilkes said it was his defense. He was doing the AG defense. Then AG said, no, it's Wilkes' defense. Whose is it? Right? When he goes in and he fires the offensive coordinator, does he get another chance? I don't think he should. But, you know, it's Woody Johnson's team. And I hope he hears what we're saying, or at least somebody's saying it to him, and some type of advice to him saying, Woody, look at this. This is a ship going down. It's already at the bottom of the ocean. You know, we're drowned already. You know, we're dying as fans. We want something to fucking hold on to one time. Damn it. It's every year we're here at the same spot. Every year we're here at this spot every year. And it's because we can't get a head coach and we can't find a guy to right the ship to throw a pass. We had a good defense. We let them walk out the door, ruined them, ran them into the ground. We had Quincy Williams at the top of his game. Now he's a bum. They're all bums now. I'm out.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Happy New Year, Pork. I'll give you a Woody Johnson hug. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen in to Aaron Glenn tell us about a major positive from this Jets season.
A field goal team. Last year we had 3 blocks. This year, I mean, we had no blocks.
If I don't laugh, if we don't laugh collectively here, there's 600 of you watching live right now, thousands after, we'll cry. The field goal team, we don't have any blocks. Oh my God. It's just like, is anyone defending this still? Like, please tell me why, how. More calls.
Get ready for Neil. He will make 13 points about the New York Jets and maybe hump a Patriots jersey. Get ready for Neil. He's probably smoking a big fat cigar and burning his house to the ground. That's Neil.
Happy New Year. The Dom Perignon ready to pop. You know, everybody, when the New Year ball drops, I like to put on the Honeymooners and look at all the Honeymooner episodes, the Odd Couple episodes. But those are going to have to be interrupted by watching football on New Year's Day, right, Jake? We have to watch the 3 quarterbacks.
Ty Simpson versus Fernando Mendoza, and then Dante Moore also playing. So that's the New Year's Day homework assignment, Jet fans. Watch our future quarterback, because there's maybe a 75% chance one of those guys playing is the Jet QB next year. Okay.
As far as this, Aaron Glenn trying to turn chicken shit into chicken salad, I'm done with that.
What do you mean? They haven't had a field goal blocked all year.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I heard, and then I hear Connor Rogers and what's the other guy from Badlands? The other kid,
Joe
Caparoso.
Yeah.
He wants Aaron Glenn to stay. I mean, he's like there's a 1% chance they're going to change. He wants him to stay. Get the F. These guys are clueless. I don't understand.
Well, I mean,
it.
Connor is way more negative on Glenn than Joe was.
Look,
from what I heard.
Look, it's obvious we have to show Glenn the door. Okay. As far as a Band-Aid is concerned, we got to hire an experienced coach, which we've been saying for 3 years. Let it be Gruden, McCarthy, maybe Stefanski gets shown the door. Maybe Tomlin or Harbaugh. I mean, if one of those two guys, I'm hearing that one of those two guys are going to be shown the door, Jake. I mean, pretty firmly. Harbaugh, even if he doesn't go far in the playoffs, I'm hearing might be gone. Are you hearing a lot of that too? Or
I mean, that's the rumblings that maybe. I don't know. I would lean with no, but who knows?
Look,
crazy things happen.
Nobody thought Andy Reid was going to leave the Eagles. Weirder things have happened. But that being said, I want those guys to know that my checkbook is going to write the biggest, fattest check. Forget the taxes, forget New York taxes, forget this, forget that. My checkbook is wide open if I'm Woody Johnson, and money talks and bullshit walks.
Well, they got a real coach. If Woody actually did what Leon Hess did and said enough is enough after Kotite and got Parcells, if Harbaugh or Tomlin was available, someone of that ilk, and he got them, you would see season tickets immediately go back to what they should be for this great fan base. That would be a real, I'm sick of losing, hand the keys to a proven coach, get out of his way and let him build the program. He's got 5 first-rounders over the next 2 years. He gets 3 years to do it his way, and we go from there.
Exactly. And then, let them handle the coordinator situation. This is going to allow us to use our picks. We got somebody who could develop one of these quarterbacks. That's going to be essential. As far as the bridge goes, I have my thoughts. Look, the bridge situation is shitty, but Kyler Murray and taking both him and Willis, that's my feeling, because you got 2 running quarterbacks that could throw the ball, Willis, and let them compete in camp with the rookie. And I feel pretty good going to battle with those 2. If one sucks, we can go with the other. If whoever wins the competition gets the job. And I don't think both of them will cost you $20 million if they release Kyler Murray. I think we'll get a good quarterback room there. And then we're going to use $120 million, get a linebacker in free agency, one of the big hitters, somebody that weighs more than 240 goddamn pounds, that could stop a running back and call a defense. That's what I want at linebacker. I want Hitman Harris. I want Brian Cox. Okay? I want somebody that can hit a goddamn running back and stop him. Okay? Then I want also go and get an edge rusher in free agency. And then we'll use the draft to get a safety. I'm noticing a lot of these safeties, Jake, that are coming out of the college are making that guy on the Falcons has got like 4 interceptions. The kid that came out of Notre Dame, is it? I mean, there's one kid that is doing phenomenal. That's a rookie in the safety area. Are you aware? Am I thinking about it? I think he's on the Falcons.
Jesse Bates is who you're referring to?
Yes.
Yeah. You kind of have the Beast Breaker plan there. $3 billion, 8 new players.
Yeah,
the only thing you didn't mention the ice bats, though. It's the one thing you're missing.
Yeah, we got it. Whatever that plan gets us back to 8 or 9 wins, some respectability, and a shot at the playoffs. That's all I'm asking for. And then we use 2027 to make the next step. But there's only one way we're going to have success next year, and that's with a new coach. And if Woody doesn't do that, he's going to have a lot of guys dropping out of this thing. I'm telling you.
That had a kick to it. Hey, Neil, how you doing there?
What's up? Happy New Year, Beast.
Happy New Year to you. You are right about one thing. This team is completely wasteless. It's like taking 2 bags of regurgitated shit and throwing it into the trash. And Aaron Glenn this year, I do not want to hear his voice one more time. Or we got a bag right here. I could do one of these. Get rid of him, please. He sounds boring. Or I can just do my.
I'm the global beast. I'm gonna save the universe for beep beep.
Salient points as always from Beast. Neil, any big New Year's Eve plans tonight?
Going out? No, I don't. I hate New Year's Eve. I had a lot of bad experiences New Year's Eve. One time when I was younger, I took a girl on a date. We went to a club, and the club was one of these big New Jersey clubs. It was before your time. This club used to have one area was disco, one area was hard rock, one area was crazy. So I take this girl there, and we're having drinks and everything. She goes to the bathroom, and I lost her.
What?
Lost her. She went to the bathroom. I looked around. It was like 10:30. And I'm walking around. I said, fuck this. I'm leaving. She probably found some. I don't know what happened. I'm in the parking lot, and I'm saying, God damn it. It's another goddamn stupid ass New Year's Eve. Why do I even bother with this shit? And I just, boom. But New Year's Eve, that's it.
What happened though? You never spoke to her again?
Nope.
So
it wasn't like a girlfriend. It wasn't a girlfriend. It was just like, somebody I wanted to hook up with, and that was it. She probably hooked up with somebody in the bathroom or something. She was a hose. So
was this a first date? Wow.
Yeah, I had to get somebody to go out with New Year's Eve, and I wanted to go, and that was it. I had even worse ones. I can tell you a story. I had a New Year's Eve party at my parents' house. I'm 17 years old. We used to have great parties at my house. My parents always went out. So I had this big New Year's Eve party. I'm dating this girl, Beth Ryan. She was like, I was like a 17-year-old, like very inexperienced 17-year-old. Okay. Let's just put it this way. So she's saying to me, Neil, New Year's Eve, we're going to have a lot of sex. We're going to do a lot. I'm counting on you. So I said, all right, take it easy. So I have all my friends at my house, and I'm in the room with this girl, and we're getting hot and heavy.
Calm your freaky down.
All of a sudden I hear bang, bang. What was that noise? She's like, where you going? I go, I got to see something happen. I go downstairs, and there was a shutter in between the living room and the den, a shutter door that closed, like big shutters. And my stupid buddy busted through the door because somebody tried to interrupt him having sex with a girl.
Oh, my goodness.
And then another guy took a champagne bottle and poured it into the television set. I had another girl there so drunk, she threw up on a brand new couch I had in our living room. I want to tell you, it was the worst New Year's Eve. I spent all New Year's Day cleaning up the house before my parents got home. It was a catastrophe. And that was the start of my New Year's being a bad. Oh, the girl I was supposed to have sex with was making out with her ex-boyfriend downstairs at my party because I let her alone during that time. Horrible experience with New Year's. I can't tell you. That started it off, and that was been the end of me celebrating New Year's from that point forward into my adulthood. So everybody have a wonderful New Year's, and let's make 2026 that Black Monday. We better see a big news article. Aaron Glenn in the Post doing his little dance out the door with a suitcase in his back. We got to put a nice little backpack on him when he does his dance outside the door. Let's go. Take care.
These goddamn exploding cigars. I gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Neil's unbelievable. What a story. New Year's Eve with Neil, man. Not a good day in Neil's history. Unbelievable. Heather with a $36 super chat. I'm going to have to calculate how many memberships this is. Thank you, Heather. I got you in the raffle. It's boosted +2 for those tuning in late. Final show of the new year, or of the current year, I should say. Signed football by each member of the New York Sack Exchange. Comes with the certificate of authenticity. And then you're in the weekly raffle, which we're targeting
for Tuesday this week because we're not doing as many shows. So let's just get back on our weekly Tuesday schedule. Klecko, signed jersey. Rivas, signed jersey. Maynard, signed football are the prizes. Let's see. Jetstream. My ears. Me listening to Glenn's positives. I got to hear the full thing, but Gator quickly made this, and this is just unbelievable.
The field goal team. Last year we had 3 blocks. This year, we had no blocks.
The field goal team. Special teams as a whole, penalty improvement and running the ball are the positives. And it's funny because I think they asked him for the negatives too, and he said the defense, picking players, the passing. It's the things that actually win games. And the penalty improvement. Congrats to the Jets. We went from 31st in penalties a year ago to 23 this year. Who better than the New York Jets? John Cena says, you're not John Cena. Can't see me. Jake, you have issues big time. The dude was asked, what has the team improved on? What's he supposed to say? Absolutely nothing. You name things that the team has improved on. This guy can't do anything for you. He didn't name things that actually matter. That's the point. He can't name things the team has actually improved on because they haven't improved. Hence the point, John Cena. Dumbo. How dare you call yourself John Cena? You don't deserve that name with one of the all-time greats. You brought great shame to the Cena name. That's the point. The things he's pointing to that they improved on don't actually matter. We could have the same special teams coordinator next year with Mike McCarthy as our coach, with Cliff Kingsbury as our coach, with Clint Kubiak as our coach, with Brian Flores as our coach. Anyone is an upgrade over this. That's the point. They have not improved anywhere. They've gotten worse everywhere besides special teams, which is not enough. That's the whole point. Get that through your tiny pea-sized brain. He's asked for things they improved on. He can't come up with things that actually matter. Hence the point of why we're going nuts over it. They're one of the worst teams in the modern era. That's a fact. Look at their combined offensive and defensive DVOA, which measures how did you perform compared to an average team in the same situation adjusted for opponent quality. They're on the list of some of the worst teams ever. Dumb to keep this guy. Huge mistake. We're just delaying what we all know is coming a year from now when they're going to have a new coaching search. Silly. It's like, for the love of God, you almost have to hope Mike Tomlin or Harbaugh becomes available and Woody's just like, I got to do it. I have, you just get it. Like Leon Hess with Parcells. It's enough. It's enough. I cannot do this anymore. Dan says, what's crazy is this is the perfect time to hire a new coach. Draft capital, plenty of money, some decent core talent, chance to turn the Jets around, but Woody equals no balls. Happy New Year. Dan, you're in the raffle for 4 with this. Thank you. Papa Jet, who had a great call earlier, he's in the raffle for 5. Give him a hug.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Who Dat Fam, Work Boot Wealth, Robert C, Mike Drop, all receiving a membership there. Also, AJ Osborne, too, got a membership from our guy Papa. I'm going to get back to your calls. I promise. I know people are fired up. Bronx Jet fan in the house, in the raffle for 5. It's actually 10. I misspoke. It's double today. Last show of 2025. Bronx Jet fan, your memberships went to Nate Bonifant, JM23, AD, 15 years J, Tom Ruck. I just saw a great comment from one of the OGs of this community. Dave Brigger, I have run out of words to address this disaster. Can you picture Dave saying that in his voice? I've run out of words to address this disaster. Honestly, I kind of have too, man. I don't know what more any of us could say. If you're accepting this, enjoy the 4 or 5 win season next year. Enjoy it. Sit back and enjoy it. And for those saying, no, they'll win more. My initial gut was they would win 4. I gave them too much credit. And then I cowardlessly moved it to 6 because I bought into the nonsense the head coach was telling us all summer. Should have stayed at 4. I probably gave them too much credit. More of your calls. A legend is on the line.
I'm Black Gypsy. I'm here to set all you delusional Jets fans straight. Your takes make me want to punch you in the face or kick you in the crotch. When this team sucks, they suck. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy. I'm Black Gypsy. Black Gypsy.
Happy New Year, Black Gypsy.
Well, Happy New Year, Jake. Happy New Year from the Gypsies.
Wow. She's real. We love it.
She is real.
That's awesome. I appreciate both of you guys for being such awesome listeners, supporters of the show. It's not possible without you guys. So love that we finally get a chance to talk face to face.
All right, so this reminds me of when you were in Houston and you were on ESPN with the other two guys.
Yep.
Talking about Houston.
This is David Culley. This is thank you.
It's exactly the same thing, dog.
Yes, this is my point. That's why I'm so nuts on this, because I've seen this. I lived this. And at least Cal McNair might be a fool, but he knew what he was doing. He got rid of the coach. He recognized what was happening.
That year with Lubby. Lubby was that was a really, really bad year with Lubby.
He did it two years in a row, and then they landed on D'Amico. Again, if you know you don't have the guy, you need to not pretend. You know, don't make the mistake. Don't let this guy pick the quarterback. You can't do it. Don't do it, please, for the love of God.
So first thing, next time you see Mike T, you got to kick him in the nuts.
Sunday, 8 to noon.
Right, he should know why. He wouldn't even question it. He's like, I'm sorry. I mean, he should know why, bro. Like, we've watched a lot of bad football this year. And remember our bet. When we made our bet, you were like, they're going to win a game. And I hope they're going to get better. We have 8 more games. What you kept on saying. We have 8 more games to see improvement. Like, we now know that those 8 games were the worst games that we saw. Think about that. When the original first 7 games were horrible.
Horrific.
That the second half of the season could be this bad. So I was talking to Shine, right? And I don't think Woody's going to get rid of AG. I think we're in for this another year.
I agree.
But the idea that I have, because there is one thing I like about AG, is the rah-rah, but not for a head coach. He should be a football operations manager or some shit. Just give him a title and put him in an office and let him stay there because he's a Jet player. We might owe him that. That's the only thing that I think that we owe him, because he was a good Jets player. Because if we keep it up as it is, we're going to hate him for life. And I'm an AG fan, but I hate him with all that is my core. From just, you're a defensive coach and you don't help the defense. Like, it doesn't seem like you talk to anyone on the team. Like, the players don't want to be involved. Last week's game, he just started watching football 3 years ago. So he's been introduced to Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers getting hurt, Zach Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers not being great last year, and Saleh being fired. And like this year, she was like, "Oh my God, bro!" Like, when we watch the games, Jake, I call the plays before they happen, and she's like, "Yep." Like, everything is bad. Like, everything is bad, bro. Like, there's nothing good. Special teams, like, yeah, great. We're good on special teams. Awesome. I don't care. I honestly don't care. Like, he's lost me so much that even the positives don't matter anymore to me. Because, like, it's just depression. My friends call me that are Dolphins fans to check if I'm okay after games. This is the worst to describe how bad we are, dog. Like, the worst coach ever of all the coaches we've ever had. And he keeps on saying things that just makes it worse. Like, he just adds on top of it and then backtrack it. I don't even know. Like, Tanner has to go. O-line coach has to go. DB coach has to go. Linebacker coach. It's clean house. It's clean house time. Like, the running game, if you watch the last, let's say, 3 weeks, there's a shotgun play where they run it up the inside zone, up the middle, left or right. Watch the blocking on those plays, bro. Like, the team just gave up. They gave up. They don't want to play for him. Like, it's just simple. Like, when your team does that, you can't coach them. Your time has come. We appreciate you. Let's put you in an office so we don't see your face ever again. And let's get somebody that can coach. Let's get McCarthy. Let's get McDaniels if he's available. Let's get Stefan. I don't care who it is right now.
It just as someone that is not Glenn, preferably a guy who has a history on offense, so we can work with the quarterback. Like, again, I don't know if Kevin Stefanski is a great coach. I know we're in better hands with him developing Dante more than we are with Aaron Glenn, Charles London, Tanner Engstrand. Like, again, and if he fires Engstrand, right? So we're going to fire Wilkes, fire Engstrand, have 2 brand new coordinators for a guy who objectively was a disaster in his first year. If they're tanking, why are they firing the coordinators? Right? If it's all part of the plan, the tank,
Why are they fighting? Like, again, it was not about tanking. They just suck so historically bad that the only pivot they could make was to do what they did at the deadline, and it should still not look like this. Again, the Jets aren't the first team to have a fire sale at the trade deadline. Those teams also didn't have the worst December in the history of professional football like they just did.
I literally think Muji saved his coaching career for this year with those trades. Like, had those trades not been made, definitely gone. But I think he's coming back next year, and we just have to deal with it. Like,
I know. You're probably right.
I hope.
I'm going to go down fighting, though.
If we keep him, I am on fire. Fuck AG, fire AG for the rest of the year until he proves that he can do something next year. I'm talking shit about him because after this year, like you don't leave me much of a choice. Like, you put me in a box where my Dolphins friends are making fun of me. Like, it's not cool, bro. It's not cool, dog. Like, so I don't know, man. But Happy New Year. This is the best part of the Jet season. Is literally the therapy, because after games, normally back in the day, I would just sit here and curse at myself or get pissed at my friends. Now I have somebody to talk to or let it out in the chat. You know what I mean? Like, without this, bro, like, I would stop watching football. And I had stopped watching for a couple of years because it was just bad football. And now it's worse than it's ever been. So it's like,
I've seen a lot of bad football in the last 3 years. Like, I'm from Germany, so he introduced me to football because it's not something we really do.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I keep on saying, like, what did you do to me? But I've seen a lot of bad football in the last 3 years. But this year in particular, like, I used to be positive people. I'm like, no, I'm going to be the positive one.
Yes,
you know, like,
we're
we're going to win. Like, we can do this. Like, this season, I'm like, whatever. I don't even have any expectations whatsoever.
It's brutal. And I'd love to be like, it's going to get better. But, like, again, if they keep him for another year, we're setting ourselves up to win 4 or 5 games and do the coach search a year from now. Like,
5 game stops.
Yeah. Again, that might be too generous, by the way, because if they truly have quit on him and Woody doesn't see that and he brings him back, like, the second they lose the opener week 1, they might just fold like a cheap suit immediately. Like, it could get again, like, he could be Brian Callahan next year, or Matt Eberflus fired before the year's even over. Like, that's what we're setting this up to be if they move forward here. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope Glenn makes me eat my words, but I'm very confident that will not happen.
We're not going to be wrong. And just as proof, like, whenever Houston was one situation, but Houston hasn't won anything. The Patriots, Super Bowl winning team, but the player that won a Super Bowl with them that they loved got rid of him. Like, that's it, bro. That's all I need to say. And then this year, the Patriots are good. Like, if you're Woody and you see that, like, how do you keep them? Like, we're bound for failure. When you see somebody do something and they keep on doing it, it's like, all right. I agree with Kyle Clifton. We really should boycott this team next year if Glenn is the coach. We really need to make our voices heard, because, like, it's just so bad that you don't even have words anymore at this point of the season.
No, there aren't any. It's sad. Well, I'll say this. Happy New Year to both of you. You guys are great.
Happy New Year.
The Jets might stink, but this community is great. And I'll tell you what, Black Gypsy, we know he's a loyal man as a diehard Jet fan. So you have a loyal significant other right there.
I know. That's what I always say. Like, that's how you know they're going to stick around when times get tough. So all the ladies out there, get you a Jets fan.
Hey, there we go. There's a positive. Hit it. The team stinks, but I will continue to say it. It is the best fan base in sports. Great comment here. Oh, my God. Great callback. First day Jets, except Beth Ryan. Neil, I hope you're still watching. Beth Ryan. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to get to more of your calls. I have the full cut here. Frankie V tweeted it from the Jets account here. So this is not the curb bit that Gator made. This is apparently the full Glenn highlighting the lack of the Jets having any field goals getting blocked.
Team. Last year we had 3 blocks. This year, we had no blocks.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Hold on. I thought you know what? I played the wrong video. It's here it is.
Even on some of the small detail things that people really don't look at, and that's on our field goal block, the field goal team. Last year we had 3 blocks on our field goal. This year, we had no blocks, and we were at about 98%. So, as far as field goal, so those are some things that there was a huge emphasis from the very beginning, and I know
that I'm glad that's an emphasis. How about emphasize scoring points? How about emphasize getting stops on defense? Again, he just sounds like a defensive coach stuck in the 1990s, whose defense sucks ass, by the way. That's the guy that guy's gonna one day go head to head with Drake May and Mike Vrabel and win. That guy's gonna go head to head with Josh Allen and Sean McDermott. They can't even beat this version of the Dolphins, who are going to take a $100 million cap charge to get rid of Tua, who's never lost to the Jets in his career. Again, that's what the Jets are up against if they move forward with Glenn. Like, we could pretend like this gets better next year. You're never, like, if they stick with Glenn, you're bringing a knife to every machine gun battle against AFC East teams going forward. And what if the Dolphins get Lamar Jackson, right? What if they retain Mike McDaniel, who's a proven offensive coach, and they get Lamar, who's from Miami and probably wants to be there if him and the Ravens have this divorce? Or even if they get Malik Willis. Would you not feel better about Miami and Malik Willis being coached up in that situation than whatever the Jets do? Again, Glenn, they don't have an interception all year, but I'm glad that they haven't had any of their Nick Folk field goals blocked. And honestly, they don't score enough touchdowns, so they don't even have a lot of extra point attempts. Whatever. Gary Thies, thank you, man. You're in the raffle for one. Our guy Dre checking in. He gifted 5 channel memberships. Where's my he's gonna die cut for our guy Dre? Dre, here it is.
Hey, Dre, what do you think about Brock Purdy?
He's gonna die. He's gonna die.
The only thing that has died has been our spirit as Jet fans. But Dre, love you, brother. You're in the raffle for 5. We just got a huge membership donation. The Jet Stream. 10 memberships gifted, 20 raffle tickets. Dre, that applies for you. Everything is boosted. Ladies and gentlemen, that means 10 people just got memberships in our final show of 2025. Jetstream, thank you. This is for you.
Don't let go of the rope. Don't let go of the rope.
Hell yeah. Don't let go, baby. I feel like it's Titanic all over again. I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. That had a great ending to that movie, huh? The Jets are a lot like Titanic.
Purple Belt Mike, he loves the dark night. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike, he might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
Yo, is it possible that he just keeps talking himself out of job security?
We have to hope that is the case, and he Joe judges himself.
Because that's what's happening, in my opinion. Like, I thought he was really going to be safe with all the moves and whatever, but he's looking like an imbecile. It's really embarrassing. So maybe someone gets in his ear and like, yo, you got to get this guy out of here because he's just talking out of his ass.
I mean, it's really bad, man. Like,
yeah,
it's just I don't even like feel good making fun of because I like Aaron Glenn as a person. He's a former Jet. Like, I respect the fact he wanted the job, but like we have to separate our feelings for him as a dude and just acknowledge what we're looking at is not normal. That should not. We will never win with him. We're just wasting time. We are wasting another miserable season that will set us back because they are about to use major resources on quarterback and everything else. And then they'll have a new coaching staff come in. Then we'll get the bullshit. Well, they need time to get their players. And it's just like the cycle never ends because you don't ever act. You don't ever admit your mistake until it's too late. Be proactive, not reactive. Woody, you had doubts on Saleh after 23. You let him start 2024 to fire him 5 games in. Learn from that. You have to have doubts on this coach. There's no way you can't. There's no way you could watch what we're seeing, what you're hearing, what people have to be telling you. And not have serious doubts. Don't make the Saleh mistake. Learn from that. Be proactive now. No one's going to say you're making a mistake getting rid of Aaron Glenn. It's been that bad. That's how bad this season has been. It's been a nightmare.
And I don't know if anyone has pointed this out or not, but his demeanor has completely changed. If you look at a video of him talking after like week 1, week 2, and now his presence, it's like there's a ghost in front of him. It's like he is sensing I'm lost. Something's wrong. Something's going on. So I don't know. Hopefully, I really hope that he gets fired because he's not the guy, and we'll go 3-14 next year, and maybe 4-13, and then he'll get fired. Like, let's bring somebody in that is established and it really should be McCarthy over Flores and over everyone, because McCarthy has experience with a crazy owner
And developing quarterbacks.
in a market, America's team, all this stuff. There's a lot to like about him getting establishment.
He's
You
Tom
keep-
Thibodeau for the Knicks.
I was
That's what
just
Mike
gonna say,
McCarthy would
it's
be
ju-
for the
it-
Jets.
It's Tom Thibodeau. He might not be the guy to get us over, but he'd be the guy to get us to at least 10 wins and
Dude,
develop a quarterback. Like, I mean,
Just give us a shot, man. Like the Jets have not won more than 7 games in 10 years. People act like, oh, they're going to go from 3 to now 6. Again, Robert Saleh in his second year, the Jets were 6-3 and 7-4. I don't believe if they keep Aaron Glenn, the Jets will ever be 3 games above 500 with him. Saleh, for all his issues, had that team humming in year 2 before Mike White got hurt. Again, they make the playoffs if Mike White stays healthy. Is what it is. But that is true. I don't think Aaron Glenn will have this team in any position to even dream about being fake good. Like, we knew that team wasn't that good. It was nice to have a fun season. We felt like they were trending in the right direction. Like, we're never even going to get that.
I mean, a guy that can get us to 7-7 and there's just meaningful football in the beginning of December.
Right.
Is it that hard to ask for? Like, what are we talking about? So I don't know who the guy is other than McCarthy, but it's got to be somebody that's not named Aaron Glenn. He's got to go.
Mike, well said.
Happy New Year, everybody. Be safe, all right? No drinking and driving, Ubers and all kinds of shit.
Amen. Happy New Year to PBM.
Hey, go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
Thank God for the Knicks. It's amazing, man. Hey, shout out to you, Mike Dems. I see you. 5 gifted memberships in the raffle. 4, 10, let's go. Robin says, hire McDaniels, make Tua decent, give him a new quarterback. I don't love hiring another failed Miami coach because of the Gase thing. Right? Look, if you wanted to be the OC, he's not going to work for Glenn. First day Jets, Saleh was not good. No one said stop. No, who's saying Robert Saleh is good? That's just showing you how low the bar is, right? Robert Saleh was not a good head coach, although he's Vince Lombardi compared to Aaron Glenn at this point. Again, Robert Saleh had the Jets at 6-3 and 7-4, and at least the Jets defense in both 22 and 23 was top 5 in the league. Aaron Glenn fired Steve Wilks. He's a defensive guy. He said we're running the Wilks defense. It's a joke. It really is. I cannot sit here and act like what we're seeing. That's fine. All part of the plan. Rebuilding the right way. That's what's happening. The Jets have the plan. They know what it takes to build it the right way. It's just like enough is enough. Let's have a higher bar of competency than Aaron Glenn highlighting the special teams and the field goal team not having any of their kicks blocked this season as 2 of our 4 things that he's asked for positives of a 3-13, soon to be 3-14 season. Running the ball. This team has not run the ball that well. You have not watched the Jets this year and said, yep, the running game is elite. You haven't. There's been moments of big plays when Fields was out there with his legs at times. Brees had a great run in garbage time Sunday against New England, right? The drive that Glenn highlighted with Isaiah Davis having that rushing touchdown. They went out there in that game, and when that play happened, that drive happened, it was 40-13 at the time of that touchdown. And that's what he's showing the team to say, this is our brand. I'm sure the players laughed at that. This is our brand. Again, people can sit here and defend this. He needs more. It's like, okay. You have no evidence he has any idea what he's doing. None. And I will go back to something that I will play because there's a huge audience watching right now. We had a Lions podcaster on our show. He called in. This was his take. This was like around, I want to say late October-ish. This was his take on Aaron Glenn. This is from a Lions perspective who covers what I do for the Jets, he does for the Lions.
Hey, how's it going, guys? A Lions fan here. Wanted to
you want Aaron Glenn back?
No, absolutely do not want Aaron Glenn back. I definitely feel your pain. Aaron Glenn is definitely not the head coach material for your team. And I am sorry that you guys got bit on this lie. Aaron Glenn in Detroit was extremely arrogant, would never change his ways, but his in-game play calling is atrocious. Not scoring before the halftime twice, that's crazy. This is how he is, Jets fans. He has a way and he doesn't change. I could tell you for 3 years, the mobile quarterback would rip our defense up, do something, make a change, bench players. He wouldn't do it. Years of this. Guys, I think you got Matt Patricia 2.0. When we restarted compared to what you guys is completely different. We basically got a new owner. We got a new general manager. Chris Spielman came in and helped out. We brought in a bunch of Lions former greats. My boss, Herman Moore, he was brought in. You have Barry Sanders in there. Dan Campbell, the blue collar, grit, former player, humble guy. He's never thinking he's better than anybody else. And then you got Brad Holmes, who was all about, finding talent. You put them together. When we had the organization, we had no talent in this team, and we knew we were going to suck. We had nobody, but we had to build it the correct way through the draft. This team has sucked for so long. What we have been doing for many years does not work. We watched the games. We knew that the players were competitive. We knew that our coaches were doing the best that they could do, but we just didn't have the talent. That is the difference between the Lions and the Jets. You guys have far more talent. The quarterback position is one thing that is hurting your team, but the arrogance of Aaron Glenn, inability to remove Justin Fields or bring in another quarterback is what is destroying your franchise right now. I really hope they terminate Aaron Glenn for you and your fans. As a Lions fan, I know what misery is like. I know what watching terrible football is like. And I know when you have somebody that runs a franchise that can really hurt it for many, many years. I really hope they let him go. I think you guys made the wrong hire. I think the media completely lied to you. Everybody said he was this great genius, but as a Lions fan who watched defense every single game and called plays, I was losing my mind. It is not what they told you. Yes, we had injuries. You can't discount all the other years that he was with us. Our defense was trash the whole time. It was 31, 32, 30. And then now we get Shep come in, and it's doing great. You guys do got talent. You're going to have a high draft pick, but they got to cut the cancer out.
We appreciate it, Mike. I'm definitely rooting for the Lions and their fans, another tortured franchise. I mean, that's from a Lions fan. Not an EG truther. Sean says, who in God's name wants Glenn back? Have you seen my mentions on Twitter? The things people have said to me for being critical of a historically bad coach? It's insane. Now, I know Twitter's not, everyone, but there's a lot of people that actually think, like, Glenn's got to come back. It's like, okay, enjoy a 4 or 5 win season next year, and we'll do the coach search a year from now. And let's hope that the damage is not done to Dante Moore at that point, or Fernando Mendoza, or Ty Simpson, because they're going to be on their second offensive coordinator going into year 2. Let's hope we could rectify the situation like Chicago did by getting their Ben Johnson for Caleb. Tennessee's going through it right now. They had doubts about Brian Callahan. Why'd you let him stick around just to fire him 5 games into the next year? That's where we're at. It's a shame. Philly Noodles is up next on our show. What's up, Philly?
What's up, brother? What's going on?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, dude. Is there a report going around with Enstrain being fired or something?
There was some talk about the Jets making changes to their offensive staff.
I don't know. I don't buy into that.
It's from Breer, same guy who wrote the thing at the top about there's been no conversation, which I'm not buying, by the way, because the way Glenn's acting, I do agree with PBM.
I like what Connor Rogers was talking with Joe Caparoso, saying that you never know. There could have been a side conversation with the 33rd team, Tannenbaum, who's already been around Johnson, saying, hey, you want to put feelers out there at some point.
It might look. I do a radio show with Mike T. No one involved in the decision that got us to Aaron Glenn should be involved.
No, I know that.
In this,
I don't think so. Do you believe that though? You know what I'm saying? Do you believe that they may have? I think he's reaching out to Tannenbaum personally if he wanted to. And you think Mike T would say that? I don't.
Who's reaching out to Tannenbaum?
Woody Johnson.
I mean, if Woody Johnson, after Mike T recommended Glenn, is still going back to the guy who gave you one of the worst coaches we've seen through a first year ever, what are we doing? Like, again, we'll never win then. Like, there's no way. Woody needs to not go back to the well with the guy that got you here in the first place. Look what's winning around the league. Talk to offensive coaches, preferably ones with experience. But if you're going to take the swing on a first-time coach, can it be an offensive guy for once? For once, can we try and do the right thing for the quarterback we have coming in? Seriously.
The reluctancy, I would think, would be anybody in the building or anyone who would say, all right, well, Gase. Again,
Gase never should have been hired. Mike McCarthy interviewed and they chose the wrong guy.
I was going to say A and B, Darnold doesn't get sick. Honestly, we don't even know what season that is. That could have been, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But that Lions, when that guy came out and he said all that, that was really where a fan base still, obviously, we would be more accepting of saying you're out of your mind, you're just saying that, The fact they don't make the playoffs is more about Ben Johnson and the offense not clicking 100% during the year for them, I think. Goff probably getting thrown off a little bit, but not Ben Johnson in his ear. I still think, though, like, where he's coming out and saying that when he said it at that point in time, saying how they gutted the team, they got a new owner and do this, do that, do that, do that. To me, that's what he preached to Woody to get that job. To me, he definitely ran up to him and said, "Hey, I'm gonna get my guys in here. I'm gonna go get my GM. We're gonna cut losses if we gotta gut it." So basically, no matter what, the indictment on Glenn has been his words. Which I think that the best point that dude made that day with us and you on the show was 1,000% saying his arrogancy, where it's not needed.
Now he's been humbled because he has no answers, and his players quit on him, and then he walked it back. So it's either they quit on you or you were just dominated to a point where Drake May was chilling on the sideline with 5 minutes to go in a game. There's a reason why, as bad as the Jets are, you very rarely see point spreads that are greater than 9, 10 points. Like most games in the NFL are within a score, a possession in the fourth quarter. And for the Jets to be in a spot where they had the worst December in the history of professional football, I don't give a flying F who the quarterback is. Any coach worth their salt would show you something schematically, something from an effort standpoint with the team. They do nothing. They don't do anything well. Bringing him back would be organizational malpractice. It's the Browns letting Hugh Jackson come back for 2 straight years going into year 3 after being 1-31. It's a joke.
That was brutal. I remember those years watching that shit. It was very bad.
Browns have been a joke.
Very bad, bro.
They made the playoffs twice since then, as we are now in 15 years, soon to be 16 if they retain Glenn, of missing the postseason.
So, I don't know. I'm not saying I have resolve on. Listen, I would not be torn if Glenn is gone, but I still would say I don't like. We all think we know it's not probably going to happen, right? It would be like we wouldn't be like we'd be shocked just because it's not a Woody thing. I doubt it happens.
Well, you know what though? A Woody thing wasn't firing Salah last year. 5 games in, the Sauce trade came out of nowhere. Like what? If Woody Johnson's older now. He's what? He's 77, 78. Like what if he's just like, F this, I'm tired of it. Like Leon Hess, like, I don't know how many years I got left. I'm trying to, like, again, Woody has not acted, like, the idea that Woody's always been impatient is not a fair narrative. Bowles got 4 years. Rex got 6. Mangini got 3. Even Gase, it was his brother, but even Gase got 2. Herm, when he first took over, he got 01 to 05. So what? Herm was in year 5. Like, he's not always impatient. Like, if honestly, a criticism of Woody could be sometimes he's too patient. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, correct. So, I mean,
he should change his ways now. Let's go. Make a move.
I mean, in the end, if you're telling me Tomlin or Harbaugh's available, I'd fire everybody. I'd fire my mom. I'd fire everybody. I'd fire my son. I'd tell Brick to get the fuck out of the office. Don't ever come into the stadium again. You're not even allowed to watch in the stadium. Go play Madden. Don't even come in the stadium. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for those two men, I'd fire Glenn instantaneously. McCarthy, I'm still, you know what I mean? I feel like they need to bring in a QB guy, period, end of story, like immediately, no matter what their case and scenario is. Because clearly, London felt good with Fields, maybe trying to talk him up, but he still couldn't get him from coming out of a closet and crying his brains out. And then, Woody making comments for him to get one single win the way he did. It was, I don't know, there wasn't enough resolve, which we thought there would be resiliency, but that also, a lot of the guys being the way they've been the past few years, getting upset. They were, when like Rodgers went down, that the whole team was like, God damn, like they won that game, thank God. But like they were all detrimentally affected mentally by that. There's a lot of that, a lot of hangover with that. That kind of gets to me where, you know, people have the right to do whatever they want to do. Professional sports players are not, but you get paid in the end. So when you have so many remarks or going to social medias, it's like, dude, you don't want that neither. And that was a big thing with Glenn. So that's why, you know, dudes were shooken out and let go of and traded and whatever may have you. But I don't know. I want to address Neil real fast. That bet he's got is riding on heavy this Sunday.
Oh, the Steelers Super Bowl bet. Yeah.
That's riding pretty heavy, buddy. And let me tell you, after you told us about your New Year's Eve stories, I'm going to say two things. Man, I don't know what you did, but them ladies ran, which is not good. and two, you're living vicariously through Aaron Rodgers. Don't do that. Okay? I love you, dude. Don't do that. You're living through his maybe his coolness or something. I don't know what's going on. But listen, if it all comes down to a burn, you didn't even give me an option to bet against you. You only put it on me, and you cut me off when I try to make a deal with you. So that's how I know where you stand. So I'm coming for you after the fact if they lose on Sunday. All right, bud. Jake, Happy New Year, everybody. Love everybody. Let's just get it right next year, whichever way happens. Yeah.
Philly, Happy New Year, brother.
You clown-sucking douchebag.
That's Philly Noodles to Neil. For those who missed it, Neil gave us an all-time call earlier. A Final Four and Asmaniac Madness-worthy call. Highly encourage everyone to rewind if you tuned in late. Dave Brigger says, if Glenn's here next year and brings back London to develop a new quarterback, he's lost beyond all measure. You know what? Like, so I want the Jets to take a quarterback, right? If their plan is to, like, retain this staff, right, they don't make real changes, I will pivot my opinion based on new information and say, just take the best player available. Because I don't want the regime getting a quarterback if that's their plan. Right? Like, I have no faith. I'm big on get the quarterback now. Glenn and Muji can't bank on 2027, but you know what? Like, stop. Don't let them get the quarterback. Take the best players so we don't ruin that guy. If Charles London and Tanner Engstrand, and we're just running it back with the same offensive staff. It's unbelievable. All right, last chance to get in on the raffle here, folks. It's been a 2.5-hour show. It's the only show of the day. It is the last show of 2025. This football in my hand here is signed by each member of the legendary New York Sack Exchange. It includes the certificate of authenticity. It will be raffled away at the end of our show coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to more of your calls. We got some legends still to hear from.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's standing, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stop yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
Honestly, can you guys hear me?
Absolutely not.
Oh man, what do you think? What's your predictions for the Jets Bills game? It's gonna be a blowout. What's your thoughts on that, Jake? It's gonna be Bills 50, Jets nothing. What's your thoughts on that?
A lot to a little.
That's true, because you know the Jets. You know Aaron Glenn's brand of football is the moral victories, aka the salsa dancing. I could probably be a better coach than Aaron Glenn, honestly. What's your thoughts on that?
Agreed. So
agreed. Fire Glenn. Fire Glenn. Fire Glenn. And then as Maniacs, enjoy your 2025, enjoy your New Year's Eve, and let's go and let's make sure 2026 is the best year yet for the Asmaniacs.
Mad Max, have a great New Year. Don't do any illegal substances, okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
What are you guys' opinion on me doing a backflip through this orange wall?
We're concerned about you, Mad Max. Tyrone checking in. Happy New Year, Jake and the Asmaniac family. We hope the Jets make the right decision. Go Jets 2026. Tyrone, Happy New Year to you and your family. And let us hope that the New York Jets somehow don't suck this upcoming year. Good God. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to more of your calls. We say hello to a man that we love, we respect. Some of you out there might even fear.
I got my eye on you. Checkmate me.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, David.
No reason to fear me, buddy. Hey, I do have a story, if you have a little bit of time, comparable to Neil's story. But first of all, Happy New Year to everyone. And you say about the one statement that's been on my mind is Aaron Glenn says, don't let go of the rope. Well, I'm letting go of that rope because if I got that rope, I'd being a Jet fan, I want to put it around my neck.
You're not wrong.
But anyway, so I hope I'm wrong. I don't think he's going to be let go, and hopefully the hope that I have is Muji has a good off season, and then we get into next year and let the chips, fall where they may. Now the Neil story is a New Year's. Now this is back in 1980 something, and I was in my prime, and I was trying to get back into the dating scene. So a first date on New Year's Eve, and I'm like, all right, we'll take this a run. She's a pretty girl. I didn't really know her, and so it went to a house party. And I really wanted, talk to her, get to know her, and all that kind of stuff. But, it was pretty much my old neighborhood guys and their wives and all. And, the next thing you know, she's hanging out at the bar, drinking shots with the boys, and I'd go over and try to talk to her and get to know her. And she was more, I guess she didn't really be too interested in me. So finally I got to a point, my one real close buddy, I said to him, Rick, can you see that this young lady gets home? I'm done with her. And I knew what was going to happen with him because he's quite the ladies' man. And so he was the one that ended up getting lucky that night.
Was her name Beth Ryan?
No, it wasn't Beth Ryan. I didn't know about her background or anything. It was a girl. A place that I worked at. One of her friends. She kind of set the whole thing up. So I really didn't know very much about her at all. But that's why I wanted to talk to her and everything. But she was pretty interested in down in the shots with the boys. So, hey, I'm like, I'm done with this,
Well, I'll tell you what, David, you are a legend, and you ended 2025 with maybe the best call that you've had all year. Tremendous.
Thank you for taking my call, Jake. Everybody have a great new year, and be safe out there tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. They call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
We might need to get some Beth Ryan merch in the merch store. What a call from Neil. Gator, have fun with that one. I can't wait to see the edit on that story from Neil. Kyle Clifton says Exchange Ball. He's in the raffle for 4. Every membership at Super Chat, $10 or higher, is doubled. So $10. That's 4 entries there for Clifton for this football right here. Home stretch of programming. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan is next. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
What's up, dude?
Chilling, man. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Hope all is well. And for everybody else in the chat as well. A couple things I wanted to talk about. The reason why AG is bringing up the freaking field goal percentage is because there's nothing else good to talk about with this team. And
Exactly.
That's the only thing. And that's the only thing he has to bring up. Second, I thought Jermaine Johnson was a leader on this team and actually wanted to win. But just hearing his attitude and all the stuff he says online and stuff, it just really bothers me and pisses me off. Dude made one good play on Sunday, and I think it was on the goal line in the first half. Other than that, he's MIA the whole game. So I'm just tired of these players going online talking shit, talking about this, talking about that. How about you guys go out on Sunday and take it out on the field? You know, grow a set and actually go out with some manhood and actually make a few fucking plays and do something about it instead of always just bitching. Sorry. And then the last thing I want to say is with Aaron Glenn and his coaching staff for next year, you know, I think that Anstran is average, but I think he could be better if we had a better quarterback. But also, you know, he's been too reliant on Brees. It's just like if Brees doesn't make the play, or if it's not Brees this or Brees that or Brees that, nobody else really makes a play. A throw here, a throw there, a catch here, a catch there. But it's just all Brees related, and Brees has been average himself. That was the first long run we've seen from Brees in how long? You know, how many touchdowns does he score a year? He doesn't score touchdowns. He doesn't catch the ball a lot. He doesn't break off long runs. He doesn't make a guy miss. And then, you know what I'm saying? So it's just all centered around Brees, but he's been average himself. So I wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, look, I think Brees has had moments this year, but you know, it's been disappointing overall. Again, part of it, I'm sure, is because of the game plans are always specific, but I think we expected more from Brees. I still would retain him because I don't want to create another hole, but does he want to be here? You know, I mean, the franchise, we don't have a choice. It's a mess. And I agree with you on Jermaine. I don't want to get rid of him though, because again, like I know Jermaine is good. I just think the coaching is so bad on this team. I we're going to like blow up the whole roster. And it's like, these players are going to go elsewhere and be successful. Like we've seen how many other times in Jet history, like they're not bereft of talent in some spots here. Again, the defense, we know the secondary is an abomination, but Quincy, Sherwood, these guys just forgot how to play football completely. Like it's so much coaching, man. I just think we can't blow the whole thing up and let Glenn do that when he's a big reason why we're in the spot in the first place.
I agree. So you said a little bit ago with Philly Noodles that if they keep Charles London as QB coach, you would rather them just switch to like draft defense instead of go after quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I like if they're gonna keep like this staff, right, and like if they're ill-equipped to like take a quarterback that needs clear development, like part of me is almost like, I'm not saying I would do it. Yeah, let's see how the draft order plays out and who declares. But like part of me is like, they're not gonna be here anyway by 2027. Let's just let them be god awful. We have the 3 1s in 2027. I'm not worried about having to move up to get the quarterback. They'll be probably picking in the top 3 again if they retain Glenn. And like just take Arvell Reese or Caleb, like just get 2 good players who we can't ruin in a year, and a new staff will come in and get to work with them with the 3. Like that's because again, I have no faith in them getting the quarterback situation correct. And even if they do, it could be a Darnold situation where we don't know because the coaching is so bad. So I've never been more down on the Jets than I am right now. It's disgusting.
I totally agree with that take there, Jake. So let me ask you this one last question real quick. So if they retain the staff and they just keep Engstrand, Charles London, all those guys, right? And instead of drafting a quarterback, what if they actually was aggressive for a Joe Burrow or Lamar and traded a few first-round picks for one of them instead? Because I feel like the Jets just need to make a drastic move like that to actually be able to get this team out of this hellhole. Because even if we do draft a rookie quarterback, I still only think we'll win 6 games at most next year.
If that. Again, it depends who. Look, if they love one of these quarterbacks, I mean, Woody's going to let him. If he keeps Glenn, you got to let him pick it. It's just, you know, you hope, much like the Giants situation where Dart, even with a toxic situation, the team was bad, coach fired. He showed you enough where it's like, okay, he's going to be a good player if they get the right things around him. Like he showed me enough where it's like, I think he could be a good quarterback. He's got to take care of himself. We understand that. But like you hope that if the Jets did something similar where they got their guy, even if the situation's horrific, which I'd imagine it will be with Glenn as the head coach, the quarterback they took, if it's more, let's say, could show you enough where like the next coach that comes in will want to be here in part because he has belief in that guy. You have to hope. Yeah. Or best case scenario, Glenn proves us all wrong and is awesome. But I'm sorry, when I hear the head coach emphasize the fact that they haven't had any field goals blocked this year as one of the 4 positives he's referencing, I cannot. Seriously, I'm not entertaining this magical turnaround that would be a historic outlier given what we have seen.
I agree. And that's why I said before on a previous call before is like the Jets just need to stop making decisions with their feelings and just go for the actual right guy and who is the most proven. Just like how you would want the most proven quarterback. Well, we want the most proven coach so we can actually get this thing turned around because that's where it starts. And Woody saying all this dumb shit about Aaron, it's just tiresome. How long do we have to deal with it? How long do we have to keep going through this year after year after year after year? We can't ever come on here after a game and talk about anything positive or say anything positive because there never is anything. But I'm done ranting. I appreciate the call. I hope you guys have a good holiday.
Hey, where are you off to? The dojo?
No, I actually just got home.
Are you a ninja now?
Nah, I wish I was, because then I would just disappear.
Hey, let me bring on my ninja analyst here. Hold on.
Okay.
Who the hell hit that dog sign? Son of a bitch. I heard that. Ugh. I was trying to catch up on sleep because I had been up since 4 o'clock in the morning.
Hey, I need your analysis of our ninja guest.
Ninja, huh? Ninja.
They call me
Ninja.
Raffle.
What ninja are you? Who are
I'm
you?
Ninja Gaiden.
I see. What are you? Karate, kung fu, ninjutsu, jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu. That's the best martial arts.
Very good.
I bet you I could take you, Beast.
In my heyday, when I was 25, I actually had super kicks that were very, very fast. They're not as fast as they used because age. Yeah.
You're still a young guy.
I've been beat around. I've been around the block a lot. Around the been beat up enough. So, go. I'm like a punching bag now. Go.
Yeah. I would have just put you in a little headlock and gave you a noogie then.
Nah.
Clean off the rest of the hair on the top.
Unless I come up with a little bit of a plan and do what Terry Silver would do. Assa. You don't watch Cobra Kai, do you?
I only watched the first 2 seasons. That was it.
Well, the last season I saw was John Priest versus Terry Silver on a boat.
The field goal team. Last year we had 3 blocks. This year, we had no blocks.
All right, home stretch here. Last chance to get in on the show for the year 2025. We have the raffle for the signed Sack Exchange football up for grabs as well. Maceby with a super chat. AG won't want Kotite engaged. 14 loss record could be motivation to win. Again, they're not going to win. They won't. The Bills with all their legends back last game at that stadium. Jets starting Brady Cook again. Probably no Brees. They're not going to win. This line should be a lot higher than what it is. I think it's because we don't know how long Allen will play. But I feel pretty confident in the Jets losing this game. All right, it's only 7.5. I would take the Bills and feel very good about it. Oh, no, you cannot. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to say hello to what could be the last call of the year 2025. Now, there's some pressure on this caller. He has to deliver. But I believe he has what it takes to deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
Chuck Wagon's always cooking, which it takes. Chuck Wagon's even cooking at the game. Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's, but he's headed home to cook. It's time once again for Chuck Wagon.
Really, you're going to make me the last caller? Thanks, Drake. And
do you not have what it takes, Chuck Wagon? I'm showing great conviction in you.
Give it a try. I'll give it the old college try. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. Be safe. Glenn, I don't think he has a good memory because the Jets did actually have a kick blocked this year, but there was a defensive penalty, so obviously he doesn't count. But the Jets did have a kick being blocked this year. It may have been an extra point, but still, a black kick is a black kick, even if it doesn't count. Going back to way earlier in the show when Nick Stein thought maybe Moore and Simpson may stay in college. If the class of 27 is supposed to be a loaded quarterback class, why would those two roll the dice and maybe get picked not even in the first round. Because if they go now, they're pretty much going to be a first round pick. But next year, with a lot more quarterbacks coming out, they could be a second, third round pick, which would obviously mean a lot less money. And there's also, they could pull an Aller, which means they get hurt, devastating injury, and then they just possibly ruin their career. So I just don't see a reason why, knowing that those two are probably going to be picked in the first round, why they would want to go back to college. And yes, they make $4 or $5 million in college, but they can make 35, 40 million guaranteed being a first round pick, especially if they're in the top 5. It makes no sense financially.
Again, I think Dante Moore will declare. I think there's too much on the line for him to not declare if he's has a chance to get $60 million guaranteed as a top 3 pick in the draft.
I agree. The money it doesn't make sense to go back to college and roll the dice like that. It's just not worth it, especially when there's probably a lot more quarterbacks that will be drafted in the first round in 27. No chance in hell. Good stories by David T. and Neil. Oh my God. Poor guys. Well, I think things would have been different now than back then if they were younger. So, hey, you never know. At least you had a chance. So, thanks for the stories. As Maniacs, thank you for the support. Thank you for taking me in. It's actually been a really rough year. Jake, I want to thank you. It means the world to me. I'm not saying about Jets. I'm just saying in my personal life, I am ready for this year to be over with.
Well, Chuck Wagon, you mean a ton to the community, man. So, anything that we could do to ever help you, you're part of the family here. So I'm glad that you've become, a weekly caller on the show, and, your calls are awesome. They bring us a ton of laughs. We got a chance to meet your family in a couple of these calls. So hopefully you keep calling, and, 2026 is a way better year for you than 2025 was.
I hope so. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Chuck Wagon. Give him a hug, Woody.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Man, we love you, Chuck Wagon. Chuck Wagon's a good man. Shout out to everyone who tunes in, man. Jetstream says for Chuck Wagon, put him in. 4 raffle entries for the Chuck Wagon on behalf of Jetstream. What a community. Thank you, Jetstream. That's very nice of you. Making sure we account for that. Yeah, this show is, a show about the Jets, but it's become so much more than that for anyone who's been here a while. Couldn't be possible without all the callers and what we have coming up for Asmaniac Madness this year. I mean, that's going to be our Super Bowl as Jet fans. Big fella checking in. Speaking of legends, Happy New Year, everyone. Wishing you all a great 2026. Love you all. Better days are coming, Jets fans. We're like Andy Dufresne trying to escape prison. Sometimes you have to crawl through crap to get where you want to go. We've been crawling through a lot of crap. A lot of crap we've been crawling through. You're absolutely right. It can't last forever. I don't think the playoff drought's ending next year. But this can't go on forever. Right, Big Joe?
Jets, Jets.
Big fella, you're the man in our raffle with the boosted membership. I'm trying to get Sean to call in here. We'd want to hear from Sean. Gator wants him on the show. Seems like the chat does as well. We also have a ton of people sending in memberships for Chuck here. PBM with another for Chuck. He's up to 8. Gator with another. He's up to 12. Remember, everything is +2. So $10 gets you 2. It's 4 today. Thank you to Gator and PBM. Excellent. I'm counting the names right now for our last raffle 2025. Can't believe it. Right here. Signed, Sack Exchange, football. Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, holding on hope that Sean will call in. I see people in the chat saying, Sean. And Villette saying, Sean, set the tone for 2026. Dave Brigger, Sean, get the tequila out. Come on, Sean. We need to end on a happier call after Chuck Wagons. FPP in the raffle for 4. Thank you, FPP. And he's saying it's for Chuck. So Chuck, another. How about that? We're up to 16. God, I hope the wagon wins. That'd be great. That would be great. All right. Dave Brigger, Sean, don't make us beg. Barbarossa, Sean, Jake needs to sell tickets. Amanda Madison in the house. Former Mad Chuck Wagon. Such an asset to the Asmaniac community. Happy New Year's and put them in, baby. What a community. Amanda Madison from the cloud.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
This is a big one here. Chuck Wagon. My goodness. 10 more. Courtesy of Amanda. That's 26 and counting for the wagon. Beast, what do you make of the support for the wagon?
He's doing great. As long as he's cooking, get him a spot on the Food Network.
I agree.
Food Network should take him. After all, they got Emerald, they got Martin Yan, they got Julia Childs, they got other stars that are advancing themselves. Why not give Chuck Wagon a fair share on the Food Network?
You know what they say? Nobody circles the wagons like the Chuck Wagon.
That's good. That's a good point too. And always remember, Chuck Wagon always cooking at the game, and Chuck Wagon hates McDonald's. And hey, that's a good hit. That's a good country hit. It sounds like a cowboy song. And know me, I don't like cowboy music and cowboy boots. I like jeans, chains, boots, hardcore t-shirts, and an ass whooping hard to catch and lightning fast to catch. Are we ready for that raffle yet, or do we got one more caller?
Not quite yet. We still have a couple of surprises in stir.
I'll tell you what, send them out, keep them rolling.
Eli Bet says, let's make sure Chuck wins. Holy hell. It's happening. 36.
Hey, keep those memberships coming, everybody. Chuck deserves it, and he does deserve it. Why? Because he's a man. That had a kick to it.
Man's man. Eli, you're the man, dude. Congrats. And thanks for your support. As always, Crypto Mike says, keep up the good rest of NYJ content. Crypto Mike, you've been around forever, man. Appreciate you. This is for you.
Jets, Jets.
All right, home stretch here. I am counting the names. Now, Sean apparently just commented that he won't call in. So since we can't get Sean live, maybe we adjust on the fly. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what happened the last time Sean called in. Sean?
What's up, Jay? Come out from the jungle of misperception, your dialect of how I should be. I was on Nick's show, Nick Shines, and Gator was like, oh, man, come back, man. We miss you.
Oh, come back, man. We miss you.
What, to make me belittle me? Edit it, make me like one of your sideshow clowns? I know the game, Jake.
I don't think you do.
He made it seem like I was like deliberately trying to be a dickhead.
You cursed me out. You're the one who once took a football and put it in the toilet. I didn't do that. You did.
Yeah, because I was trying to hype in the show, trying to give you ratings.
So what exactly is your issue?
You made me seem like that I was a drunk.
Are you sober right now, Sean?
No.
But then when people call you a drunk, you get mad. But you've admitted you call in drunk all the time because you said you're boring sober. Well, maybe if you call in sober, we should try that.
I have high anxiety, Jake.
So you don't need to call in, Sean. Here comes the ringleader forcing Sean to call in and make him more money.
I'm not Jake Paul.
You look handsome.
Thank you, Jake.
Jake, here's $5 to sponsor this drunken promo.
Half your fan base drinks. Oh, look at him. He's worse than me.
Are you saying you're an inspiration? Hey, Sean, did you call in twice by accident?
No.
So what else is there, Sean?
I want to rumble.
You said you wanted to rumble.
What's up? You got something to say to me? At first, I thought they were breasts.
This is global studio headquarters, the top headquarters in the country. You're talking to a man who owns 5 of the top corporations in the United States.
The only graduation you are is like a bottom turd. I know that Irish skin doesn't, last that long in the sun.
I'm not Irish either, believe it or not, Sean.
What are you, like Jew?
That's not a God.
No, I have nothing against Jews. I love Jews. I don't know, like I kind of have a sense. Wait a minute. If he's not Irish, he must be Jewish.
What a call. I guess we won't get any more Sean today. So we at least will have that call forever. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps our last caller of the year. It's time to say hello to a man that this community loves, respects. Some might fear. He is the big fella.
He's home, his bed is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his smell is on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his smell is on the bed. It's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super cats. When the big fella sleeps alone, there's no room on his bed. That's a big fella.
Hey, man. What's up?
Big fella. How we feeling?
Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year to the great big fella.
Yeah, I wanted to give you you said I got memberships for that super chat. I want to give that to Chuck Wagon also.
Hell yeah. So let me see, because you sent in, I got to find it here. You had 5 and then 10. So 10 more for the wagon.
Yeah.
Hell
Yep.
yeah. 46 for Chuck. He is the odds-on favorite to win this. He's got a good shot at it.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Yeah, just want to wish everybody Happy New Year. 2026 has got to be better than 2025. Chuck Wagon, hold your head up, man. You're getting through it, and we're here for you. So just keep the faith, keep pushing, and everything will be all right. You got people to lean on in here. So
Hey, are you leaning on top of Beth Ryan right now?
who's Beth Ryan?
Did you hear Neil's call?
No, I just got on.
Go rewind and watch Neil's call, and you'll know who Beth Ryan is.
All right, I will for sure. And Sean, you got to call in. You got to stop being a little bitch. Call in. You have anxiety. Everybody's got anxiety. You don't need to drink to go on the show. So stop being a little bitch and get your ass on the show. All right, you talk shit last time I saw you in the chat. You were trying to clout chase Beast and, be a man and call in. That's all I got to say.
Hell yeah. Well, that's big fella. You're a man's man. That's why you're one of the greats.
Nah, you're one of the greats, man. I'm just a guy in the bed. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the big fella, hit it. Ladies and gentlemen, a 5 spot from Seth. It's really 10. Double it.
Jets, Jets.
Thank you, Seth. I think I said Sean before. I had Sean in my mind. Thank you, Seth. I got you down. I'm counting the entries as we speak. We're putting it all together. And we're going to raffle away the Sack Exchange signed football. If the winner can get me their email, or can email me, I should say, their address, I will do my best to get it sent out potentially today. If not, I'll get it sent out on Friday. So I'll do my best to get it out as quickly as possible. Final raffle of the year, man. Can't believe it. We started the raffles a little more than a year ago. So best community, making it all possible. Let's see. I need a Beth Ryan hoodie. God. This was just sent to me by listener Joe. All right. Apparently this is Beth Ryan. Looks a lot like Bobby Midnight. A lot like Bobby Midnight. Niall Newark. Josh McDaniels, yes or no? He's the best available. He's not the best available, though. How is he a better candidate than Mike McCarthy? He's been a head coach twice. It hasn't worked. McCarthy's been a head coach twice, and he won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. And then in Dallas with Jerry Jones as his owner, he won 12 games, 3 of his 5 years there. I don't think this is Beth, by the way. That's just my gut. Barney says, I say we fire Glenn and the next coach preemptively before we even hire him because he's going to suck too. Sounds like I'm doing radio in Houston again. It's like you don't just keep David Culley and Lovie Smith because, the next guy's going to suck too. No, eventually you land on D'Amico. You don't just keep Jim Tom Sula and Chip Kelly because, who's going to want the job? Yeah, eventually you hire Kyle Shanahan. That's who. It's kind of what we're talking about here. But I digress. Instead, let's not fire the head coach of the Jets because there's so many positives to highlight like this.
The field goal team. Last year we had 3 blocks. This year, we had no blocks.
All right. Let's do another year of this. What could go wrong? I'm ready for a raffle. Are you guys? Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the raffle, for the final time in the year 2025, we bring on our master of ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Blubber.
Bruce took a hiatus today. Today, you all gonna get the Macho Man Randy Savage, Mr. Slim Jim himself. And now, since it's New Year's and I can tell everybody wants to go out and swing a little bit of a party, well, I can get down with that on a regular daily basis. But enough about all that. Let's go ahead and spin the Jake Asman Wheel of Champions. Don't you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Dig it.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
For the final time in the year 2025, one prize to determine who wins a exclusive signed Sack Exchange football. One spin to determine all of it. Hey, good luck to everyone again. I can't thank the audience enough. These raffles were just a thing we started last December, holiday season. We started them as once a week. In July, we started doing some daily ones for like smaller prizes, but as the show grew, we were able to start raffling away jerseys and other signed items across shows, and you guys are truly the greatest. Couldn't do it without you. Even though the Jets suck, this fan base remains the absolute best in all of sports. There's no doubt about it. All right, here we go. If you win, email me your name, your address, so we know where to send your prize to. Good luck. The final spin of 2025. The winner is... Seth Nauer. Seth. What's crazy is Seth was the last to enter the raffle of everyone. He was the last to get in. And guess what? Seth is the winner. Hit it.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
Congrats to Seth. Give him a real Jet chant, Woody. Seth, congrats. AsmanJake@gmail.com. You can email me. Now, we're not done. I thought we were done, but there's a man who just called in. He's flailing his arms like a lunatic on hold right now. Ladies and gentlemen, could this actually be the final call of 2025?
Well, you know, I love the Yankees and the Jets, and to read the Super Chats are more than just a hat. Bobby.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Bobby.
Jake.
Bobby.
I stick up for you every fucking time on your ESPN show. What do you put my face on that thing for? What the fuck was that?
What are you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
What? I don't know what you're referencing.
It looks like Bobby. I
Oh, the Beth Ryan?
Time.
This?
Yeah.
I didn't do this. A listener sent it to me.
Well, fuck you.
What?
No,
You're mad at me for this?
Yeah, destroy that picture, okay?
It's
That's
Beth
all.
Ryan. It's not
Okay.
even you. I said it looks like
have
you.
Fucking happy 2026, okay?
It's not even
stick
you.
up for you. I say you're a great host, and look like shit you do to me. Goodbye.
I didn't do this. I
Fuck
said
you.
it looks like
Fuck
you. A listener sent it to me. It's Beth Ryan, Neil's former lover that never was. This is a perfect way to end the year, right? The Bobby was flailing his arms to come on. Wish everyone a happy new year. Instead, no, it's to go all, ugh. How dare you? I didn't even know this was you. I got a thing. It said Beth Ryan. I put it up on the screen. I go, it kind of looks like Bobby Midnight. This is not even you. It's Beth. You're getting so mad. This is not you. This is Beth Ryan. That would have been the call of the year. He was so mad. I didn't get a chance to respond. Happy New Year, Bob. And to Beth Ryan. For those who don't know who Beth Ryan is, please see Neil's call. Oh, my God. All right. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. God damn it. All right. Again, sincerely appreciate everyone who watches this crazy show, man. The Jets, they always suck. The community never does. It's as simple as that. We will have a show. I'm planning to be back on Friday. And again, post-game show for the last time Sunday. If there's breaking news, you know where to be. We'll be here. We will be at the Combine this offseason. Even before that, we will be at Super Bowl Radio Row. And even before that, for the first time, we will be at the Senior Bowl in Mobile. We have a table on the Radio Row there. Me, Dom C, and Dylan will have daily content from the Senior Bowl. So we're stepping it up, man. The Jets might be terrible, but we're going to do our best to cover this team the only way we know how. Maybe we'll meet Beth Ryan along the way. Man. Where do we go from here? All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Have a great New Year's Eve. Be safe. Enjoy the last day of the year. Enjoy the college football tomorrow. If you're up early, please call the radio show. I'm doing 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. solo. So I'm going to post the Discord link, the number. Call in if you're up early, because let's be real. How many people are calling a radio show on New Year's Day? I got to fill 3 hours. So let's talk Jets, Knicks, Yankees, Mets, lack of moves, whatever. Mendoza versus Simpson, whatever's on your mind. I'll take plenty of calls on the show tomorrow. ESPN New York, listen on the app. Call in 800-919-ESPN. Again, go Jets. And since Bobby Midnight came up and in at me, let's try and play something that will get him to laugh or cry. I don't know. Happy New Year. Go Jets. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's make 2026 the best year yet. See ya.
I wanted to jump up on you, asshole. I wanted to jump up on. But I wanted to jump up on you, asshole. I don't want to jump up on. She's very attractive. I want to talk to people with low ideas. Not that I want to jump up bones, but she's very attractive. I don't want to jump up. I wanted to jump up on. Can I say hello to I wanna jump up. You know.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.